Good afternoon to all of you. Yeah. Okay. Which of the following is not a perspective in the balanced scorecard? Yeah. Anybody?
Innovation is okay.
Absolutely. Because financial, customer learning and growth, innovation is a part of the internal business processes where you actually run this process for innovating. Okay. Great. What type of indicator is employee engagement score?
Lead.
What are indicators? There are two types of indicators,
Lag and
lead indicators and lag indicators, right? So, employee engagement score would be what kind of an indicator?
Lag.
lead indicator.
Lag.
Lead.
Lag.
Oh, it's a lead
I
indicator.
will also say, okay, Gargi said lag for this reason. Essentially, employee engagement score is a lead indicator because depending on the employee engagement score, it helps you to understand what is your level of employee satisfaction. Would you agree?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Would you agree? You correlate it with employee satisfaction. If your score is high, you assume that people are happy. If your score is low, it will indicate that employees are not happy. Will you agree, more or less? Gargi?
Yep.
Man, but it can be lag indicator too, no? Because there are some lead indicators
I
which
was
drives to
just
achieve this.
telling, so it is debatable because lead indicators, lag indicators, they are not sacrosanct that this is a lead indicator and this is a lag. Because say for example, as you said, it is debatable for a recruitment process. Okay. You could have lag indicator saying that number of um, candidates who have been hired. Okay. So how many have been hired? That could be a lag indicator. Now,
Correct.
what are the lead indicators? There are several lead indicators, right? From sourcing, screening, then number of, what is it? Even the sourcing channels, etc. The input is a lead, the output is a lag. But the output of a particular thing can become an input for something else. So therefore, that same lag can also become a lead. So therefore, I give that, it is debatable. And I also give you because when you say lag, it could also be a lag because there are several lead indicators. Say, for example, clarity of what is it, role, or, according to the Gallup survey, or the environment, the culture. There are so many things which will actually go into creating that engagement score. So I will definitely give you that, saying that it could also be a lag indicator. But essentially, you typically look at engagement score as a lead indicator. Okay. Okay, let's get on to which of the following best defines KPI?
Metric to track performance.
Absolutely. Anybody else has any other variation?
No.
No? Okay. Okay. In balanced scorecard, what does the internal process perspective focus on?
Operational efficiency.
Excellent. All of you agree? All the other participants also agree?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Only when there is a dissonance, then we will debate it.
Discuss.
Okay. What is the primary goal of using a balanced scorecard? Primary goal.
Translate strategy into action.
Pardon?
Translate strategy into action.
Translate strategy into action.
That is the primary goal. Translating. You have a particular strategy. The company has formulated a strategy. Now to execute it, translating that entire thing into action. So anybody who has a dissonance with this response? Huh?
No.
None? None. Which of these is a lagging indicator?
Revenue.
Again, of course, huh?
Revenue
Typically,
output.
huh?
Number of
revenue.
complaints.
Revenue.
But broadly, if you look at revenue, According to the balanced scorecard, revenue is a
Lagging.
because it's an outcome.
Outcome है, yeah.
It's a outcome. So it's a lag indicator. I'm looking at Divakar and he seems to be thinking, is it really a lag indicator? Divakar, do you have benefit? I
No,
mean,
number
any
of
benefit of doubt?
No, revenue
Number of-
projections may be a lead indicator, but
Pardon?
ठीक है. What revenue projections may be a lead indicator, but
But
what
ये तो
revenues did we
lag
attain
indicator
may
revenue.
be
No,
a lag indicator.
revenue 500 crores revenue. Okay. Which perspective focuses on innovation and employee skills?
Learning and growth. Correct.
Perspective. There are
Learning
four
and growth.
perspectives: financial perspective, customer perspective, internal business processes perspective, and learning and growth. So, anything about
Learning and growth.
improving the
Learning.
human capital, right? Learning and growth. What is a strategy map? वो हमने सिखाया नहीं. So I will give it a skip, but if you want, you could.
See a visual of objectives and cause and
Yeah,
effect relation.
It's a map. It's a map. You can see a map. It's on a one pager. So it's a visual thing. Okay. Which will actually, we'll talk about it today in detail and you'll work on it, which gives a cause and effect. And that is something that linkage, cause and effect, very interesting. How do you do that? We will look at it. Which KPI aligns with customer perspective?
Customer retention rate. Okay.
Yeah. Any dissonance from anybody? BSC, Balanced Scorecard, was developed by who?
Kaplan and Norton.
Kaplan and Norton.
Told yesterday.
Robert Kaplan and David Norton
Norton.
in 1992, I think. Which is an example of a strategic theme in BSc. I haven't taught you those themes, but yet you want to try it, you can have it. Broad, strategic goals get divided into themes. So here it is operational efficiency. I talked about value discipline yesterday. You recall? Every organization, to differentiate itself from the other organizations, for example, like a Starbucks, to differentiate from the other peer organization, it has a unique selling proposition. It has a customer value proposition. Okay. That means, to lead, to compete. So we talked about three kinds: operational efficiency, product leadership, and customer intimacy. So improving operational efficiency is a strategic theme. Okay, we will talk more about it today. Which of the following is a financial KPI?
Net profit, right?
Yeah, anybody else? Any of the participants have some kind of a doubt?
No.
Why is alignment of KPIs with strategy important?
Yes, B is correct.
B is correct? Because
Yeah.
see,
Instead measure progress on goals. Yeah.
if I'm working on something and I'm measuring something, but that is not at all aligned with what the business wants, what the strategy is, then what is it? You're going your way, another person is going. This is like saying, I am 120 kilos and Divakar is saying, hey, I want to reduce my weight and I'm measuring something else, right? You have to have the right measures so that you align yourself with what is it? You want to reduce weight. Okay. Now, what is cascading in balanced scorecard implementation?
Strategic element and all levels. B is correct.
B is correct.
Goal
That means
setting.
All levels.
Pardon?
Yes.
Cascading
Goal
is
setting.
means, pardon?
Goal
Divakar, you
setting?
said
No.
cascading means I have at See, business level a strategy. Now I want to execute the strategy. So I create a corporate or a top level balance scorecard. And from there, I'm cascading it either by department wise, either by geography wise, either by product wise or service wise. It goes down to the last level. That is what we call it as line of sight. Line of sight means what a person does at the lowest level, he can connect it to the big picture. That how will what my work is related to what the organization wants. Okay, clear? I can see somebody like Gargi is thinking, is that so? Is it clear? We'll do a little more on cascading, but Nitin,
Yes.
Nitesh, are you clear about it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Which one is a lead indicator of customer satisfaction?
On-time
Time
delivery.
delivery is correct.
Right? One of the on-time
On-time
delivery.
On-time delivery, yes.
Which of the following statement is false?
False, okay.
4 dimensions of performance that are considered in a balanced scorecard, absolutely right. No financial, customer, IB, internal business processes, and learning and growth. A balanced scorecard will include some qualitative and quantitative measures.
Correct.
It can be possible. Stakeholders are cannot include stockholders. Okay, then that's which is a false. Balanced scorecard is the compatibility between personal goals and the goals of the organization.
No.
Well, balanced scorecard is aligning of organizational goals,
No,
right?
Personal.
Okay. A metric based on non-financial informations are known as
Non-financial is qualitative.
Qualitative.
Financial is
quantitative.
quantitative and financial is quantitative.
Mostly financial information is quantitative, right?
Yes, yes.
Sometimes you also have qualitative. Metrics based on financial numbers produced by accounting or very, very obvious, no? Quantitative. Very obvious. Huh?
Quantitative. Yeah.
People affected by decisions made by a company, including investors, creditors, employees, managers, regulators, customers, suppliers, and lay people are known as
Stakeholders.
Stakeholders.
owner of a company stock are
Stockholders.
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 classify each of the following into a balanced scorecard perspective.
These both 21 and 22 are very good.
Number of improved products.
Yes,
वो किसमें
internal
आता है?
process. Internal process.
Internal process.
Yes.
Internal operation.
Full marks. Time from packaging to delivery or
It's
display.
also a process. It's also a process.
Internal operation.
Full marks. Production costs.
Yeah.
Internal
Differ
operation.
here for the
Maybe
number
है.
of
Production cost
Cost
is
but
related with the financial.
Internal
Cost.
business processes, actually production costs. I mean, reducing your
Cost.
trying to improve your processes and reducing your production costs. So it can get into actually internal business processes. Number of customer suggestions.
customer.
Yeah,
Customer.
absolutely. Sales mix.
Finance.
Revenues. Revenues. Obviously, it's a financial
Financial.
perspective. Number of repeat customers will be
Customer.
Customer.
Customers.
Ma'am, I have a question, on 21st. If you will see the A1, number of improved products,
Hmm.
it should be in, learning and growth, right? Because, the number of improved product is the KPI of learning and growth. So I think it should be in L&D rather than in internal operation perspective.
You are increasing the SKUs, etc. But also it comes in internal
Process and
business
systems.
processes because
Yes.
there will be a target for them to improve the products under, say, for example, under innovation. Okay. Yeah. Classify each of the following measures into the balanced scorecard perspective. Employee satisfaction surveys.
Yeah. Learning and growth.
Okay. Then units of waste per production process, uniformity, products, and inventory control.
Internal process.
Internal operation.
Internal
Yep.
process.
Yep. Energy efficiency, internal
Also,
business
yes.
processes. Management training course certificates awards, learning and growth, right? Divisional profits,
Finance,
yes, finance. Number of customer referrals, customer.
Customer.
Done? Okay, guys. Lovely. I think all of you are there, spot on. Huh? I don't know how much of reading you all did, but everybody should be between 90 to 100% now in BSc. Huh? Essentially, today what we will be doing is I'll do a quick recap of the balance scorecard because I actually set the stage yesterday for the balance scorecard. And so we will do a little recap and a little more on balance scorecard. And we will be doing the strategic map. I don't know how many of you heard of the strategy map. Some of you, I'm sure, have heard of strategy maps, right? Interesting concept, and which is linked to the balance scorecard. Okay. I can't see exciting faces. Yeah, Divakar. What happened? Listening to strategy map, you're thinking, what is this? Huh?
No, ma'am. I am at one of the arrival terminals, so somehow I am managing for today.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. You are at the terminals. Okay. So you are really excused. Done. All right. So I'll just do a little recap. So there was this evolution of, see, everything when you're an organization, when we actually say, hey, is this organization a successful organization? Okay. Is it achieving results? So obviously you are measuring it. So traditionally what had happened, you are always measuring it. Traditionally, how are we measuring quickly? This is like a wraparound, what is that? Rapid fire round. So traditionally, how are we evaluating or measuring the performance or the success of organizations? Tiwari ji?
Even the
Sales
target and
revenue.
sales revenue.
Based on sales
Huh?
and
Typically financial metrics, right?
Yeah.
Typically.
Typical
And
financial.
typically financial metrics that mattered.
Correct.
So if you recall, the finance guys were very important. They would do, because it was an industrial age at that point of time, machinery age, right? And what created value those days? Tangible assets. Manufacturing में क्या होता है typically? You have machinery, right? You have raw
Yeah.
material. So that created the value, no? So and organizations were evaluated by financial metrics. And in fact, sometime like, in the 15th century, they were doing this double entry bookkeeping. Anybody who knows what is double entry bookkeeping?
bookkeeping,
I
I
would
know.
recommend all HR people to know a little bit of, we are doing a course for one of the biggest automobile organization. Finance for
For
HR
non-finance.
people. Huh?
Finance for non-finance person.
Finance for non-finance. So double entry is nothing but debit credit. आपने spend किया तो उसको debit किया, credit किया. So it was like that. Then it evolved into a management accounting system. That's where initially finance वाले कौन थे become accountants थे. Then this position evolved into CS were coming in. It became management accounting system. But if you look at this information age, what is really creating value in today's times? Both intangible assets. In fact, if you recall, earlier, 60-70% of the tangible assets were actually, taken into consideration when we're evaluating a company. But today, it is the other way around. The intangible assets also taken into consideration. So therefore, companies like Google, Microsoft, all these companies which don't have much machinery, etc., but it is because of the knowledge, information. So their market capitalization is huge. So why is it huge? Because the human capital, intangible assets, they are creating the value. So if you have noticed, so there is the evolving of measurements, and that's where the BSc had come in. So when we typically talk about the BSc, so again, we are talking about what, saying that, hey, moving away from the traditional measures, we are looking at long-term capabilities. So we are also looking at all the other perspectives. Okay. The lag and the lead, we are measuring both of them. So we are balancing long-term and short-term. The focus is not just on short-term. So we are saying It is it's a tool for communication because it cascades down to the lowest level. So therefore, everybody knows what are my goals, what are my measures, what are my targets, and what do I need to do. And this is aligned with the business, this strategy. It's a measurement system because it measures. And I have shown you how every perspective is having what objectives, measures, targets, and initiatives. Then when we call this system as a strategic system, why is it so? Because it translates, the BSc translates the strategy into action. Any clarifications further? None? Then I've already spoken. Obviously, it gives you a common language. It helps you to understand better. And then everybody is very, very clear with what am I expected? How am I supposed to be doing? How will I be evaluated? And then when you're tracking it, monitoring constantly at any point of time, you know exactly where we are, as opposed to coming, evaluating at the end of the year and saying, hey, we have not been able to achieve our targets. We can always take mid-course corrections. Okay. Yeah. So it increases focus on strategy and results, improves organizational performance, focuses on the drivers of future performance, improves communication of the organization, vision and strategy. Yesterday, when I showed you this, what is that? The balance code, I said the vision and the strategy are in the center because they are the guiding force. You actually develop your measurement criteria deriving from the vision and the strategy, and all the perspectives, objectives are derived from vision and strategy. They are not in silo. They are not, in isolation. So when I talk about not in silos and isolation, so you can see this figure, how you take into consideration the mission, the vision, the values, and the strategy, and you derive, and then you create your balance scorecard. And therefore, it translates strategy into action. Okay. Once again, just a repeat of that. If you see all of the mission, values, etc., it gets translated into your scorecard, and then further down, drill down to initiatives and objectives. So when employees achieve those outcomes, then it translates into what? The shareholders are happy, the customers are delighted, all the processes are effective and efficient, and you also have a motivated and happy workforce who are also, skilled workforce. Okay. So all of you know that there are 4 perspectives, or rather than evaluating or measuring an organization just on the financial parameters, you are including the other parameters, because in today's times, the other parameters become very, very important. Why? Because actually the learning and growth and the internal processes, they create value. How value is created in terms of what the customer expects, and in turn resulting into financial outcomes. We'll see that. Okay. So typically when we say, hey, we'll say that, in the financial perspective, to succeed financially, how should we appear to our stakeholders? Or then the customer, to achieve our vision, what is that we should really do for our customers? And then in order to do that, then what kind of processes, critical processes we need to excel so that we can satisfy our customers? And then in order to run our process excellently, then what kind of people do I need, with what kind of skills, which is called human capital? Then what kind of a technology, infrastructure, network do I need? Then what kind of a culture, which is called organizational capital, so that like leadership, team building, all that, so that it can get translated into what? Higher market share, retention of customers, which impacts the financial perspective. Okay. Now, yes. So what is financial perspective? We did that, but these are some of the measures, KPIs. Like for example, we talked about it: total assets, profit, return on net assets, revenue. You can take a click of this, because when you work today to a very small exercise, you may need some of the KPIs. Okay, you can just take a picture while it becomes easy for you then. All right, economic EVA. All these are the KPIs. Then when we look at the customer perspective, yeah, somebody said somebody wants some clarification. Okay. So when we talk about customers, what do our customers require from us? How are we doing? It describes how the organization will create that differentiated, sustainable value. Okay. And while we are doing that, what kind of KPIs do we have? Like customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, market share, customer complaints, return rates, customer lost, number of customers, new customers, response rate. So all these are what? What are they?
Customer KPIs.
Measures, right? Customer KPIs means how will you measure your customers? Say, for example, I'm an organization who is falling in that customer intimacy. So that means what will I do? My customer processes have to be very, very strong. Then I will need to have what lot of them saying that, I'll have to actually capture customer satisfaction. I may have to capture customer complaints. So it depends. It depends on what value discipline I want to lead, or I want to really be above my competitors. Then you will actually have all your processes targeting that perspective. Yeah. Internal business perspective. So in this, what is that essentially when we talk about business processes?
It's
What is
focusing
that?
mainly on the operations.
We are actually processing, see, here I am an organization. I'm actually promising something to the customer. Okay. Maybe a product or a service. All of you are working. Okay. Now, in order to satisfy this customer internally now, what are those processes I need to excel? What are those processes I need to really, work upon so that I can deliver? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So internally, I need to look at, say, for example, I'm a fashion designer, okay, at a boutique company. Then what kind of internal business process, critical process will I look at? Anybody?
Current trends,
Pardon?
current trends, fashion
Current trends,
trends.
fashions, everything. That will become my focus, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm a boutique company. Huh? How do I? So that will be my focus. So absolutely right. So I'm a company who is manufacturing, say, Maruti automobile company. So what kind of processes will I focus on?
Innovation.
Innovation, production
Is
related.
Maruti an innovative
Cost of-
company?
Cost
First of all,
effectiveness,
Cost.
what is that? Maruti means what comes to your mind? It is a
Car.
good
cost
car.
effective,
Yeah.
cost
Huh?
effective,
Cost
value
Absolutely.
for money.
Absolutely. Value
Yeah.
for money. So that
Reliable.
means operational excellence. That means my processes have to be very, very efficient, right? Just in time, cost reduction, inventory. I have to look at all this because why? At an affordable quality, I have to ensure that my quality is also good, but I can't afford to increase the price. So obviously, even my salaries will be less. In an operational excellent company, what will happen? The wage cost of people also has to be lesser. In a product development company, what will you do? The focus will be on
Innovation,
new
innovation,
feature,
technology,
huh?
Yeah.
new
Technology.
trend,
technology. Yeah.
Technology, how fast can we, come out with new products in our company? The salaries of people will also be high. Why? Because I need not average kind of people. I need real good
Yeah.
engineers, real good software engineers. I don't mind paying them because I have to come out with new features. And what will this price be? Will it be like Maruti less, or will it be a Ferrari will cost less or more?
High.
No, it will be more.
So the
They
are
will
you now
always charge premium, no? They will charge
are you
premium
now
for their.
different? Yeah. Are you now differentiating? You know how? So if I'm going to charge premium, I better be the best, right? New
Correct.
features, everything. Nitesh, any
Yes, ma'am.
questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So these are some of the measures. Average cost, on-time delivery, average lead time, inventory turnover. So these are all the KPIs or the measures. For example, new products. If I am a product development company, all new product features, etc., I'll be focusing on this because how soon my lead time in terms of releasing those new products. Next, learning and growth perspective. In this perspective, typically what happens? Everybody knows by now. So what happens in learning and growth perspective? Anybody? What do
One
we
should
do?
develop also their
I-
skills and
Yeah.
skill development.
So depending on what I have actually promised to the customer, I will have those processes. But to run those processes, I will need then human
Manpower.
capital with the necessary skills, that is the knowledge, skills, right? Experience. So I'll need human capital. Then I will also need what? Technology, infrastructure, right? Then I will also need what? The kind of culture, organizational capital, what we call it as. That is this an organization which is high on innovation, creativity? What kind of a culture will I create? Collaborative, or is it team based or individual based? So all this depends on your positioning. What is that you are promising to the customer? And therefore, how do you actually run your processes? So to run those processes, are they individualized processes? Are they team working? So depending on that, then you will plan your learning and growth perspective. So is there a connect or no connect? All the
Connects.
perspectives are
Yes.
in silos? No, they are
No. It's all
connected.
interconnected.
We'll see how value creation happens now. So these are all the KPIs. Okay, guys? You can take a picture because when you do the work, then you will need them. So if you want, you can take a picture of this also. Lead, lag, input, output. You should be familiar with this. Okay, lead indicator. Is everybody very clear about lead indicators and lag indicators? Any clarifications on this? So
If you
typically,
can,
as per the
ma'am,
pardon?
Ma'am, quick check. We will
if you
be
can help
receiving.
us,
So do we need to
basically
kind
the
of
lag indicators.
Yeah. So in the context of a balanced scorecard, the financial perspective outcomes and the customer outcomes are supposed to be lag indicators. Now, why do we say lag indicators? Because they are outcomes. Because the learning and growth perspective and internal business processes, these are those predictive drivers, or these are the lead indicators which get translated into lag indicators. Okay. Now, you may say you can't, this is like, I'm 120, see, I have to reach 60 kilos, but you need to do something. You have to improve your diet, you have to do exercise, you have to go to the gym. So all these are lead indicators so that you can reach the lag indicator of 60 kilos. So in the similar fashion, if an organization want to achieve a certain, say 10% market share, 20% market share with a certain amount of profit or EBITDA, they need to work on what? Your internal business processes and the learning and growth.
Yes.
It can't happen automatically. If I keep saying, hey, I need to do 500 crores, no, you can't. You have to work on to achieve 500 crores. What is that I need to do? What is that I need to improve? Or maybe I have to do what? New products, or maybe I have to get more customers. So to do that, what I need to do? So then what will I do in the learning and growth perspective? Will I improve the skills of my people? Will I train the people? Will I do all that? So lead indicators are those indicators which actually are called also performance drivers, which help you to achieve your lag indicators. Somebody wanted to know, is that okay? So I'm only explaining
What
to
is
you
the
in the
relevance here, ma'am, in BSc?
Pardon?
What is the relevance here of a lead versus lag indicator in BSc? The
It's very,
relevance,
very, it's very, very important. In fact, the entire BSc works on that. So I want to achieve certain, there is a objective of 500 crores, whatever. Okay. And I want to achieve a certain percentage of market share. So what are these? These are lag indicators, right? As per the strategy, 50% of the market share and so much of revenue. But how will it achieve that? I will achieve only when I work on my
Process.
internal business
process.
processes. Now, will the process run on by themselves, or are people deployed in that?
Yes.
Now, to
people-
run those processes, what kind of skill sets I need, what kind of training I need, what kind of culture I need?
Yes.
Are you with me? Somebody asked that question.
Yes.
What is the relevance? So, learning and growth and internal business process, translate it into lag indicators. If I'm just working on learning and growth and internal, it is only like, short term, okay, I'm doing my work. But with the BSc, you know exactly, hey, are you achieving your targets? Are you achieving your market share? So that's how your strategy is translated into action, because you can actually see right up to the learning and growth, monitor it and saying, because supposing I'm not actually achieving my percentage of market share, what's happening? I'm going to check about it. Okay, hey, am I not releasing those? What is happening to this new product? So should I get people who are trained, or should I actually look at other skill sets? So I'm going to identify where is the gap. Okay. Can we proceed, guys? Please. Yeah. Just give me a thumbs
Yes.
up. We can proceed. Okay. All right. These are some of the measures I have just given. You can take a photo shot, because when you do, then you might have a little challenge. Okay. These are target settings. I want to quickly go to this. I'm not going to alignment. Somebody was wanting to say, how is it aligned? So I talked about, you create a corporate business scorecard, and then this is cascaded down either by business, geography, or even by sector or product or service. So everybody gets, so that's how the alignment happens. Okay. It is not in isolation, or it's not in a silo. Okay. Yeah. I want to introduce this quickly and then talk about strategy, guys. Strategy maps, because then you'll be doing. Let me give you this. Okay. So, what is strategy? What is strategy? We keep talking so much about strategy. What is strategy, guys? Anybody? What is strategy? I'm sure everybody, it's the
kind of
most
planning
commonly
that we do.
used strategy word, right? When we talk about strategy.
It's a long-term goal.
It's a
long-term planning,
Long-term goal.
strategy is a goal, or what is it?
planning, I think.
Planning
How
to
we can achieve our
achieve
Yes.
something
It's a
that
plan of
we-
action to achieve a goal.
plan of action. Yes.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
we can
it's a
achieve.
plan. So strategy is the direction and scope of an organization over long, because it has both long term and also short term, which achieves advantage for the organization, but it is taking into consideration all the resources, right? Huh? That's how strategy is. So when you talk about strategy, it talks about everything in terms of its resources, what are its strengths, what are its weaknesses. You do this SWOT analysis. I'm sure people have heard
Yes.
about
Yeah.
SWOT analysis. It takes into consideration your strategy can't be in isolation. What all should it take into consideration? Anybody? When you are developing or formulating a strategy, what should it take into consideration? Anybody?
All strength, weakness, opportunities, target.
Yes. Great.
Yeah.
Great. And then what else? Vision?
Vision.
Or
Yeah.
will you leave out
Vision.
vision?
Yeah.
Huh? Will you leave out vision?
No.
You have to take into consideration your
Yes.
vision,
Yes.
mission,
Mission,
right?
values.
Your
Values.
values.
Yeah.
Okay. And there is something called a PESTLE analysis, a SWOT analysis.
Yes.
Now, when you're doing a strategy, you are also taking into consideration, that's where I'm coming now. Yeah, sorry. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this, what we call it as value discipline. This is what is value discipline? That means every organization, it says, hey, what is that I want to offer to the customer? What is it could be a product or it could be a service. So it's called customer value proposition. Okay. So when I offer this to the customer, now, according to, I would love you all to read this book, Value Discipline by Veer Sima. Tracy and Veersima, they were the ones who actually came out with, there are 3 value disciplines, only 3. And they could also become the strategical themes because all your strategy is spun around it. We talked about it already. Operational excellence, product leadership, and customer. Now, you can't be good at all 3. If you want to compete, if you want to differentiate, say, for example, a Starbucks. How does it differentiate from the other coffee shops? How does it differentiate? Because it says, hey, I know what you like. I understand your flavors. So I'll be talking to you and I'll be creating. So customer intimacy. It's very good, right? Outstanding. But that does not mean that you should be what? Absolutely. You should at least hold threshold level at the other disciplines, but you should have your best processes, everything running. So in your internal business processes, if you are a customer intimate company, you'll focus more on those internal business processes. Are you with me? If you are an operational excellence company, like say Walmart or Amazon or Maruti, you are saying, I'm giving you something at an affordable cost, good quality. So what will I focus on? What will I focus on? See, I'll give you. What will I focus on? Quick.
Operational.
Operational.
Operational excellence. That means I will be high on productivity. I will ensure that there is not much of wastage. So I'll follow all the 6 Sigma lean principles, right? Just in time, focus on cost, focus on efficiency, volume. So all my processes will focus on that. But if I'm a product leadership company, what will I focus on? What will my drivers be? Because I have to make new products, get into new markets, new techniques, innovation, all my internal business processes will focus on that. But that does not mean I will do that less. Okay. So when we talk about, so this is more of those attributes. So I will create value creation. What is value creation? We talked about just 4 perspectives, right? But are they in isolation? No. They create value based on what I want to achieve financial. Through how? Through my whatever I want to offer to the customer. Okay. I will create internal business processes and I will ensure that I have the right kind of skills. Your strategy is from top to down, but your execution is from where? Quick. Look at the diagram and tell me. Is it from top down
Bottom
only
up.
execution also?
From
Huh?
bottom to up. Bottom to
But
up.
bottom
Bottom
up.
to top.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you work from here, nothing will happen. No, these are only outcomes. Somebody asked, no, ma'am, what is the relevance of lag and lead? Financial will only give you how much you want to achieve. Customer will tell you what are the products and what market share you want to achieve, what kind of number of products you want to release, number of new products, everything. You'll only outcome. But where does the action take place? Where does the performance take place? Internally, that is internal business processes. And unless and until, why is the human capital being given today so much of importance? Intangible assets converting into what? Value. Value creation. This is called value creation. Means your intangible assets today. Why? Even in your, if you go and see your profit and loss, and even it's mentioned that even your intangible assets are valued. There is some kind of a what? In market capitalization, if you see, people look at what kind of people do you have? What kind of a talent? What kind of skills, competencies? That becomes very, very important. Is the slide very clear? How do you create value for the customer? Value creation. It is bottom up. Translating intangible assets into what? Value for the organization. Okay. Based on the right kind of skills, you are improving your quality of the processes, reducing cycle times. Therefore, you are giving on-time delivery. Therefore, your customers are loyal, and therefore you have return on capital. Okay. Yeah. So, just to emphasize quickly on this, I spoke about value proposition. Now, value proposition becomes really very, very key when you're doing a strategy map and also a balanced scorecard. Why? Because all your other things, other process, it also impacts your processes. Say, for example, these are your value disciplines: operational excellence, product leadership, customer leadership. Any doubts on this? These are your 3 value disciplines. Okay. Now, when you are at here, this blue one, at what price? I said your prices are very affordable prices, low. So you know what company. So that means you will focus more on what? Your internal business processes, which will actually impact your cost. That's why if you look at all these companies like a Maruti or an Amazon, they will look at all their processes where especially they will look at productivity indexes, right? Just in time. So these will be their benchmarks or reworking. So no wastage. Okay. But the other things are threshold. Relationship, customer relationship, it is threshold. Go to a McDonald's. Does he ask you how much you want, what you want, madam, good morning, sit? Does he wish you like that? Tell me quickly when you go to a
Never.
McDonald's. Huh?
Never they ask.
What is your experience? You just
Always
have to order
give-
and they won't even
always
look at your
lo-
face. The guy is only going to just quickly take your order and deliver. Okay, he's not rude but deliver. So the relationship is low. But whereas when it is customer intimate, that becomes the primary focus. Got it? Now, are you finding the connect, guys? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so when we talk about strategic objectives, we talked about it. From where do they get derived? From where do we derive strategic objectives?
Mission and
Mission.
vision.
Yes, but every perspective, if you have noticed, we looked at certain goals. So in every perspective, you will derive your objectives, right? That you understand, right? Any
Yeah.
clarification there? Now, once you develop that, then we look into what we call it as a strategy map. Anybody who is actually familiar with the strategy map, who wants to just take a try. What is the strategy map? What's the strategy map? How does it look? Okay, I'll show you how does it look so that you will see. If I say this is a generic strategy map, what could you make out of it?
So, ma'am, the thing that we were discussing that there is a long-term strategy. That long-term strategy is kind of broken down into, if it's a 5-year map, suppose 2030 we envision this. From 2030 we break it to 2029, 2028, 27, 26. What would be our milestones? So maybe on the 1st of April 2025 we decide, okay, if 2030 we want to reach here, by 31st March 2026 these are the things that we want to achieve. Then they'll get further broken down into business heads. Okay, what will the finance guy do? What will the product guy do? What will the tech guy doing? All of that, and then so on and so forth. What will be the capability building that will be required? What is it that marketing will have to do? What is it that operations and customer service has to do? So maybe that could be a strategy map.
No. If I am saying that this is my strategy map, what does it say?
It's a basically visualization chart.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So
organization goes
I
and
just
connect
want
with
to
all the.
excellent.
Yeah.
So when Gargi told me, I wanted to just give a recommendation. In today's time with so much of happening, so global, the market is literally volatile. We call it as that what volatile, uncertain, right? So have you noticed organizations don't go for 5-year
5 years.
plan and 10-year plan? Have you, earlier my times, we would go to some nice resort and plan 5-year plan, 10-year plan.
So,
Have you
ma'am,
noticed?
my erstwhile
I'm just,
organization was a legacy organization,
yeah.
and we still believed in 3 and 5 years. So, usually, all our strategies, be it human resources or business, would have a 3 and 5 year vision, and then it would get broken down.
I actually, I will take what you said. So it depends on the nature of the industry. Some industries are a little stable in terms
Yeah.
of manufacturing organizations, brick and mortar. The change when I was working for Mercedes, Benz. So I saw that, 5-10 years, there would be some change, not much of change. Okay, stable processes, they don't change much. But when you look at what are the other, which are those industries which have a lot of change?
Yeah. So
Technology
IT, I
oriented.
guess, IT and
Technology
a lot
oriented
of service
organization.
new age
So
organizations,
it
not
depends.
much. But
Absolutely, I'll give it to you.
Hindalco or
In,
a banking or an Ultratech or even Tata for that matter, Tata Steel and all, they I guess still believe in the 5 year, 3 year vision and they
no,
work
believe
around.
is something else, but it is the need, brick and mortar, because it is directly related to how much of change is there in the market. If you are sitting in a market where there is so much of happening, technology is changing, competing. If you have to compete, then you have to change, right? Otherwise, either shape up or ship out. And
Yes.
lot of organizations today, you can't even, most of them have just wiped away because they couldn't shape up. Some of the
True.
organizations, right? Yeah. So coming to this strategy map and balance scorecard, you may say, hey, but what is strategy map? What is BSC? Okay. Strategy map is a one pager. I want to give you this, it's better to have a picture, a picture says more than 1,000 words, right? I, in fact, love to have visuals rather than, read a lot of content.
Yes.
Okay. So what is a map? It's a visual, one pager. And it communicates. Now, what does it communicate? That's the most interesting thing. So organizations typically have a balance scorecard and a strategy map. Now, strategy map is a one-page visualization where it actually clearly gives you what the cause and effect relationship. How is organization adding value? How is strategy being achieved? I'll just tell you, look at this. And with this picture itself, I'll tell you. And along with this, you use a balance scorecard where you track the performance because there the measures are there. Objectives, measure, target, initiatives. Because in a strategy map, there is, what is it? How are the intangible assets translating value, converting value? Okay. Now let me give you 4 perspectives. Financial customer strategy map. It gives you it's a visual picture of giving you the 4 perspectives of a balanced scorecard, wherein it helps you with the financial perspective of, hey, what is that you need to achieve from the financial perspective? You have to achieve what? Shareholder value. In terms of what? You have to actually achieve what? Profit, ROC. So how are you going to achieve that? Either through a productive strategy or through a revenue growth strategy. Got it? Do I need to make it a little bigger? Now can you see it? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. Now this visual uses bubbles. It gives you a cause and effect relationship. What causes the effect? Now, in order to achieve this, I start from typically in a strategy map. Where do I start? This is an outcome. So I start from where? From the customer perspective. What is my starting point? When I'm drawing a strategy map from the customer perspective, I must have clarity on, hey, what is my customer value proposition? And by what do I mean by customer value proposition? Means what is that I want to offer to my customers? What products, what services? And in which, so when I say customer value proposition, I need to definitely know which of those disciplines I want to lead. Can you tell me what are those 3 disciplines? Just to reiterate. Quick. What are those 3 disciplines? Oh. Guys, nobody is responding. You know why I'm asking? Because I want to ensure that you all are awake. When I said customer value proposition, I need to mention which value discipline I'm trying to look at. This is like I told you the entire story of Rama and Sita, then you're asking me who is Rama. Quick, nobody's telling me. I talked about value disciplines. I talked about Tracy and Veersama. That shows you are doing selective hearing. I talked about operational excellence. I talked about product leadership, and I talked about customer intimacy. Right?
Yes.
Because now you have to do this map. So I have to define customer value proposition. Got it? And
Yes.
when I say customer value proposition, when you do this map, you have to write, is it OE or is it product leadership PL or is it customer intimacy? Because my entire strategy will change depending on what? My value proposition. Obviously, no, my entire focus will be different. If I'm an OU company, my focus will be different. If I'm a product leadership company, my focus will be different. If my customer intimacy, everything will change. So when I'm talking about so say for example, I'm into, say this is it's a retail. Okay, I can also look at retail of electronic goods. If supposing this strategy map, now I'm saying, hey, I'm going to offer at a very reasonable price, good quality, okay, timely availability. So these are all the what product attributes or features. When you go to the market, you will say no, selection, functionality, and then in terms of iska service bhi dekhte hain, partnership and image. So these are all customer attributes. What is the kind of product I'm offering? So obviously this is at a operational excellence. Okay. Now, in order to give this product or service to the customer, in order to offer this to the customer, what kind of internal business processes I need to have? I'll need to have operational management. I need to have customer management.
Innovation.
I need to have. So don't think these only will be the processes. If you are into food business, what is one process which will become very, very important? Regulatory compliances, right? Because compliances will become very, very important. If you are like Google, innovation processes will become very important. Why am I saying? So when you're actually going to do a strategic map, you have to think about, hey, what is this product? Is it into OE? Is it into PL? Then what processes will become very critical? So when people outsource, what do? They will keep the critical processes because they want to ensure quality to their customer and outsource the rest. Got it? Okay. Now, so here, what are the processes?
I have a question, ma'am. So we
who
are
is
in
this?
Vivek.
Yeah, Vivek, tell me.
So we are in offshore drilling industry. Okay.
You're into?
Offshore drilling industry.
Okay.
हम लोग रिग है हम लोग के अपने पास और समुद्र से तेल निकालते हैं. NONGC is our client. Okay. So in this case, so in our organization, procurement and inventory is very important because samudra mein rig hai, so all the equipment must be there on time and backup plan and all that. So procurement and inventory process is also come in the internal perspectives.
Absolutely. Depending on what is the you have to give. So your inventory, your compliance, government regulations, they all become very, very critical, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you won't hire people, only first you will understand what are those processes, and then you will hire people with the requisite skills and competencies. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, once you have this, then to run these processes, what do you need to do then? Obviously, you need human
manpower,
capital.
good manpower and all.
Yeah. So good means depending on the process, what
Required
kind of
knowledge, skills and all. Yes.
What the knowledge, skills, attributes, because so that he can apply that knowledge and run the process. Okay. Like for example, in Walmart, which process becomes very, very critical? Because which will give you that advantage? Which process? Amazon. Yesterday you were talking about it. Walmart, Amazon.
Supply chain and all.
Supply chain. So to run the supply chain, what kind of people I need? Absolutely. That's a critical process. So will I pay very high salary for that person?
Yes.
Because he's a critical. But maybe to an accountant, I'll pay less because I don't need high skills. No? Are you now understanding? And in a Google or somebody, I will say, hey, I want to pay the highest salary for a software engineer because he has to innovate.
Yes.
Because if I take an average person, he can't innovate, create. So obviously, whatever I have promised to my customer, I can't deliver. Got it?
Yes.
There is an example when I was working in Sutherland. So my chartered accountant, who was assistant vice president, asked me, madam, you see the salaries, especially during this annual increment. Salaries of a chartered accountant in a Price Waterhouse are very high, madam. And you are actually not giving us, we are getting only 60th percentile of the salary. So do you think I should also give salary which is comparable to the Price Waterhouse? Anybody?
No.
Why?
We can.
To both the people, because the qualification is completely different. The level
He's a
of
chartered
work
accountant, right?
is completely
He's also chartered accountant.
We need to check the business.
Okay. Sorry, I missed the
business,
question, I guess. Yeah.
what exactly business both companies are doing.
I'll tell you here. So that's where is your for a lesson for what the compensation strategy. So I don't need excellent people, no? Because chartered accountant, I only need management accounting. But think of the kind of nature of work the people who are employed in PwC do. They do a different.
Yes.
They do high skill jobs. No, there you need the best CAs, right? I don't mind an average CA is good enough for me. Are you with me now? But an average supply chain guy is not good enough. I want the best guy because he's going to drive my process.
Yes.
Say, for example, I'm a company where I'm doing recruitment.
Mm.
Recruitment.
Mm.
Okay. I'm doing for many, many clients.
So
Do I
talent,
need best? Do I need
talent
best
acquisition.
recruiters? Because they should have ability for technology, ability to find what kind of skills, learning. Because he's a key person for me.
Yeah.
In consulting organizations, I'll pay very good salaries for my HR people, but I may not pay the same salary for my HR department people because I don't need those skills. Are you finding the differentiation now?
Yes.
It depends on whether you have a need.
Business
Pardon?
and needs. As for the business and needs.
As per the need, so if you get a best of guy also and you don't give him that work, then what's the point? He will say, "मेरे को तो कुछ challenge ही नहीं है." So depending on the need, depending on if your critical processes need those people, see, like for example, Vivek was talking about it. You need the best of engineers for your rig, etc. Because those are your critical processes. You may not need very good people. I'm so sorry for HR because you need that technical people. Agreed, Vivek?
But we need a good HR also. But recruitment
No,
of that engineers is required
HR,
also.
yes, lower rung of people, depending on the role.
Yeah,
okay?
but the salary of the rig people is very high in our industry.
Because those are the critical people. In fact, you give 3 months off and 3 months on because they are doing such hardship work that they get salary for 3 months.
28 days off is our cycle.
Absolutely.
And they are getting salary off salary also. Just sitting in the...
But you can't say they are taking because there is hardship there.
Yes,
they are going
very
inside
critical.
the rig where it's such a huge hardship.
Risk is there. No? Risk is there.
Yeah. Okay. So before I put you all into the breakout rooms, I want to again explain a little and then what you are supposed to be doing so that you can do the job very well and create a strategy map. Now, strategy map is a visual representation. But visual representation of what? Visual representation of these strategic objectives at every perspective, and it creates what? A linkage, establishing a cause and effect relationship and thereby creating value. Now, let me show you through example in the same thing. Now, can you see from here? You want to create a long-term shareholder value. Then everybody, please listen. You have to make this. This is one of your financial objective. Long-term shareholder value. Through what? Through either a productivity strategy or a revenue growth strategy. Now, how can you do this productivity strategy? Either by increasing the cost structure. That means if your product is costing X amount, you will increase it by X plus 1, X plus 2, whatever. Okay? Thereby you can increase it. Or you are having machinery asset utilizations. Means maybe now your assets are running only 50%. You are actually ensuring that there is 100% utilization. Okay? So very clear? Or you are creating, more products, so expanding revenue opportunities. So these are all what strategic objectives through which you can actually create more value, more profit, more revenue. Enhance customer value means you are increasing the features and saying, abhi jo iPhone features aake, will they give it to you at the same price? They will add some more, no? It will become expensive. So these are all objectives, strategic objectives. Now, how will you achieve these objectives? By working on them. So can you see an arrow mark? Yes. Can you see an arrow mark saying that if I'm going to improve my operational processes, if I'm going to improve my innovation processes, then there is this causes effect on this. Just give me a thumbs up so that you have understood. This causes the effect. So there is a cause and effect linkage. That means by improving your operational processes, which are internal business perspectives, you can actually make an impact on your lag indicator, which is finance, because you will give better products and services to your customer, and thereby this. Now, if you want to do this, then there is again, you have to work on your L&D so that again, this causes this. So there is a cause and effect. So when you're going to do this diagram of strategy map, you have to create arrows. You just can't do the bubbles and just, so you have to do this. What is it? Arrows. I'll just show you another example so that you are very clear. This is a strategy map for one strategic theme called operational excellence. Okay. What are you promising to the customer? Hey, and this I think is for an airline. You are saying that I am going to give you at a lesser cost airfares and on-time delivery. Or on-time delivery, I'm saying punctual, on-time departures. Okay. Less Indigo Airlines. What does it operate on? The airfare is less cost, right? So low cost airplane and very punctual, on-time takeoffs. So that is what you are actually offering to the customer. So in order to do that, now that means what do you need to do? What are you offering? On-time service, low prices. So to do this, what will cause what? So you need to, if you have to have on-time service and low prices, you need to work on what? Fast ground turnaround. So this is causing this. And if you have more, so this will attract more customers and it will give you more revenue. So the cause and effect. Can you establish a cause and the effect? By improving my fast ground turnaround, I am actually making what? Improving my customer service, thereby I am increasing my revenue. But if you have to do this, you also need to have ground crew alignment, right? That means the people who are on the ground, even on the plane. So all those people in crew, everybody. So all that training has to be given. I don't want you to do this. Only this part. I will show you another example so that you are very, very clear. Don't aspire for measure now. Just aspire for, there is Excel. Oh my God. Give me just 1 minute, guys. Okay. This is what you need to do. There is a template already, so you don't have to create a template. Already Vilma has sent it, but you have to work on that. Okay. What will you do? Listen to me very carefully. Vilma will will send you into breakout rooms into two groups. Now you discuss amongst yourself as to which organization you want to take. First of all, because why I'm saying your own organization, because you will know everything about it. Okay. First of all, you start with customer and write there in the strategy map, what is the customer value proposition? And in here, what will you write? Whether you are product leadership, whether you are operational excellence, or whether you're customer intimate. Okay. Now, if you're saying that, what are the kind of features you are offering? Price, quality. You can take the help of that generic template. Okay. Right. Price, quality, service, whatever you know about the product. Then in order to deliver that, then you write the strategic objectives here or themes. What are the internal business processes? Whether it is operations, whether it is sales and marketing, whether it is in a retail, it will be different. In a sales and marketing focused company, it will be different. In a rig company, it will be different. So think about those processes. In order to have those processes, what kind of people will you need in terms of skills and experience, etc. In terms of what kind of a culture will you need, collaboration, in terms of information technology, what kind of it. So then create those arrows, okay? And then, of course, financial, if you have everything in place, that will translate into revenue automatically. Got it? Any clarifications? Because before, any clarifications? Simple. Give it a try. I'm there to help you all. Okay. Vivek, you're thinking a lot, but you're not saying yes, no. Huh?
Then I will try.
Simple.
Definitely.
But
Yeah.
don't aspire to be very perfect. Just write 3 or 4 in every perspective. Okay. The last one is financial. You don't have to work on it. You have to write more in the other 3 perspectives. And then this automatically you will get the lag indicator, which is called revenue. All right. You just put them into how much time so that I know exactly how much time you all want. Quickly tell me how much time? 30 minutes? This. All right. For the benefit of all the other people. So now Vilma has very well put all the 4 perspectives in place. You don't have to write them. Financial, customer, internal business processes, and learning and growth. Okay. Now all that here you need to do is, so these are already the objectives, but then if you want, you can write, but then measures, targets, you can do it. Now we will do that part a little later. Now, you don't have to work on your financials now. First, amongst the group, think about which organization you want to look at. It could be Nitesh's or Vinod or Tiwariji. So you want to look at one organization, or you want to think of a new organization. It could be a restaurant or a multi-cuisine, anything. Take an organization which is doing it, which is offering something.
You can take a product.
Anything, or you can call yourself some, XYZ IT company which is into product. So you have to choose a company and choose one value discipline. I mean, that company, either you are into a product company, product development, or into a customer intimate company making real niche, what is it, food or something, or niche product. Or you can also think of an operational excellence company. That means, you are making certain products which are actually affordable cost and good quality. So think of something. Okay. After having thought about it, please write here customer value proposition here. If my arrow can be seen, customer value proposition, operational excellence, or product leadership, or customer intimacy. You can't write all the 3. You have to write only one. Got it? Then write what are you offering? Are you offering good price point? Good quality? Good, all the features of that product or service. All right. After you write all that, now, then you come to the internal business processes. What kind of internal business processes you'll have to keep? It could be production. It could be sales and everything. All those functions in your organization you have to write those, because every function will drive certain processes, right? Then especially make an effort to write what is the critical process there. Okay. After you have written, if you're into a food industry, then you'll definitely have to write regulatory compliance, government regulations become very, very important. Pharma industry also. Okay, like that. Then for that, what kind of human capital you will require? Say, for example, certain positions, very key, critical skills, etc. Supply chain management, we will have very good. So human capital, education, experience. You don't have to write in detail, but just few positions. Then training, etc. Then what kind of a IT? Are you into a very high technology company, or if you are into a customer intimate company, maybe CRM technologies, etc. Then is it a very team bound kind of a company, collaboration, team culture? Because every organization, to deliver its product, depending on value proposition, culture will be different. And in an operation excellence, the culture will be different. In a product development company, there'll be more teamwork. So there'll be different culture. So mention that. Then write those, do those arrows. Okay. Simple.
Yeah.
Try it. I will then help you all. Okay, guys. I'll come back to you all.
Yeah.
Can I leave the room and go to the other room?
Yes, I am here. I'll guide them.
Okay.
Sure.
So to help you out to decide on the company, to start with, since this is the first time you'll be doing the strategy map, so pick up a simple company, XYZ, retail firm, that is into apparels, dresses, apparels, right? Very simple,
Right.
which everybody can understand, right?
Yeah. Retail firm, apparels.
Retail, any company XYZ, name, give any name XYZ, retail company that sells apparels, outdoor apparels. Now see, the specific that I'm giving is outdoor apparels. Outdoor apparels can be, then you think, what with outdoor apparels.
Okay.
Okay.
So when we are saying outdoor apparel, it is more from the point of leisure kind of stuff.
Yes,
Or,
yes,
yeah?
yes, yes. So
Okay.
that is clear.
Yeah.
What is the kind of apparels we're looking at?
Hmm.
Now, under the 4 perspectives, start with the financials from the top, then go to customer, then go to internal process, and then the learning and growth. So start from the financials.
Is it from financial or is from customer?
No, first financial. First, any organization will think from the financial perspective. मुझे revenue कितना कमाना है, मुझे profit कितना कमाना है. Then it percolates down, right?
Is it whatever it is? So, and we are talking about an outdoor apparel. So outdoor apparel is basically from a leisure perspective. So it would involve all kind of activities from a leisure perspective. So whether it is a person going for a trek, person going for cycling, anything and everything. So we can look that as one of these stuff. So given that, how do we want to define the customer perspective? What customer perspective do we want to take into account? The 3 perspective which we talked about, is it operational excellence, customer intimacy, or product leadership? Since we are talking about outdoor apparel, I was thinking, and I get a feeling that it should be more on product leadership. Is it so?
Yeah, product leadership with the quality. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the objectives, so am I supposed to write it here in one of the objectives?
Yes, please.
In the bubbles.
In the bubble, I'll write it down. I have to delete this. I'm not very good with. Okay. So, product leadership. Okay. So we have written one objective as product leadership. So when we say product leadership, what more we need to add there?
No.
Yeah.
Product leadership is a value proposition.
Value proposition.
मेरी company की
exactly.
value proposition है. So it is the objective. It is at the top.
Top, exactly.
Statement.
Financially, yeah.
It's my statement, company statement, right?
To achieve product leadership, what all I should be doing?
Objectives क्या होगा? What do I need to do?
Okay.
Say quality.
Or customer point of view, quality product.
Yeah.
Quality. So I'll write here in the object customer quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for this type of stuff, we need to mention the easy access or deliveries we can mention.
अभी आपने बोला ना improve क्या बोला? Customer
deliveries
or easy access.
Easy access, because this type of stuff customer aware of, because I'm just thinking about the decathlon type of things, right?
Or we can say price, lower price.
Yeah, lower price can also be one. I'll write it. I'll put a slash here and put low price.
Or low price is you can mention on product leadership.
Product, okay, but low price when you are having a to start with, low price is fine, but in a product leadership,
cost
may not be
effective
possible.
price.
Yeah, cost effective would be fine, because if you want to maintain product leadership, you also need to do a lot of innovation and other. There would be a lot of cost involved in it. So you cannot be then low pricing. Okay, so we have taken quality. cost effective and deliveries.
Deliveries.
Yeah. On time delivery or whatever we want.
Now, see, when you're
Or-
talking of on-time delivery, this is a marketplace, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
So it is the availability. Delivery, you're not doing
Yeah.
online, right?
exactly. Yeah, it's an availability.
Availability.
Easy availability will do
Easy
it.
availability.
We'll name it. Yeah, I
Ah.
think.
Like we can say a one-stop solution where you get everything, something.
All
So
size,
here,
all
easy
size.
availability,
Of
like,
all sizes.
of. Okay. Yeah. So this is when it comes to customer, the three objectives we have worked out.
Okay.
Now to achieve quality, what are the internal processes we need to have? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, what are things which we are looking at to have a good quality? What do we have?
Good factory, machineries, manpower.
No. So from manufacturing perspective, we would be looking at more from the point of,
I think for quality purpose, we need to very strict with the
quality process, you're saying.
quality process, you can say.
Like advanced machineries.
No, that will put on a second, yes.
Okay. Cost effective, here we are talking about good manufacturing practices or something else.
Yes, good manufacturing or production production
Unit, you can say.
Inventory, strong inventory management.
Third, yes.
Yes.
Inventory management, right?
Good point. Yeah. Strong inventory. Okay. Now to have good quality process and good manufacturing practices we need is skilled employees.
Skilled employee, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And here for inventory, we would be needing from the
Good
point
supply
of
chain.
good
Supply chain.
from a learning and growth perspective, it would be more from the point of is it supply chain or more from the point of
Supply chain.
management?
Supply chain management, I think.
See, one, you have written skilled employees. That means right fit employees. That is taken care of at the time of recruitment, at the entry time, right?
Yeah.
The people who are already on board, you need to develop their skills, right? So train them, employee training.
So training and development.
Yeah, we put in the second one.
Yeah, employee providing employee training.
And development.
Okay. And then let's come to the top. So if we have good quality, cost-effective product, what are we expecting? Good sales and better revenue?
Revenue, yes. The top financial means talking about numbers, revenues.
Okay.
Then is what?
Revenue means profit.
Profit.
And
brand awareness, branding or brand awareness or
no, that is not part of financials.
Cost.
Operational marketing.
Reduce cost. Every organization talks about reduce cost, optimize, right? रेवेन्यू बढ़ाओ, प्रॉफिट इंक्रीज ज्यादा हो जाएगा, एंड कॉस्ट कम करो,
Cost reduce.
Like a cost management.
राइट.
Mm-hmm.
This is the broad three,
Is
strategies.
Okay.
can we write increase revenue or just revenue?
फर्दर आप मेजर्स में लिखोगे ना अब,
Okay,
revenue
okay.
by what percent. Now here it will be more specific,
Clear. Okay.
right?
So now again we go back to customer or we start from
No,
profits?
you start from financial. पहली बात, what kind of revenue you are looking at, then basis that you percolate down,
Okay.
right? तब आपको
So
पता
it,
चलेगा आपको वॉल्यूम कितना करना है, कितना प्राइस रखना है.
okay. So from a revenue perspective, for a firm like this, what are we seeing? What kind of revenue can we generate?
This is a small size organization, SME. Now make it again very clear.
Okay.
XYZ SME retail.
So around 1,500?
तो SME का रेवेन्यू कितना होगा? Just,
Fine or lesser than this?
Yeah, that's fine, sir.
What is the other financial we look at?
Profit कितना चाहिए from the last year? Last year
20 or 30%.
20,
You can mention on
30%
percentage.
percentage.
1%.
20%, 10%, 15%, any.
I think 10%, 10 to 15% is
15%
something.
will be
If you
okay.
mention gross profit, it would be little higher side. If you
The
mention
profit
net
is
profit,
always net डालो.
net, it's okay. Can we mention a 10 to 15 or be specific with the 10 or 15?
Specific range मत दीजिए, specific.
Okay.
Vinodji, please.
Yeah, I'll change that. Done.
And
Okay.
reduce cost. The operational cost we are talking about. Reduce by 5%, you can mention, or 2%,
Right.
anything.
By 5%.
Yeah, reduce by 5%.
ज्यादा reduce करोगे तो substandard product हो जाएगा.
All good here? All good here?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Chalo. Great. Abhi measure, okay, you are doing the measures, all right. Are you making them do the measures also now? I can see somebody writing the measures. Huh?
Yeah.
ठीक है.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I will tell them also to do then. Huh? Okay.
Okay. So let's look it from a quality measures now.
Yes.
So we are saying reduction qualities. What do we see? Reduction in the defects.
Minimizing defects.
Yes.
Reduction
Zero error free. Reduction in
Okay.
defects.
zero error in such process may be very.
नहीं मान लीजिए आपका last year आपका error was 20%. So you now reduce it by another 10%.
Reduction in defects by 10%. Okay.
Okay.
Then we are saying cost effective. So we are talking reduction in the manufacturing cost per April. What kind of cost do we? Per unit.
Okay. Per unit something.
Cost by 10%.
Yes. Fair enough.
Okay. Now, this is here it is not reduction. Here you are saying easy availability of. So here we have to say optimization of warehouse.
वो तो इन्वेंट्री हो गया ना फिर.
No, because easy availability of all size customer.
All
Okay.
sizes.
Okay. No, so what I'm trying to say here, I cannot say, okay, I'll increase the warehouses. If I increase the warehouses, my cost will go up.
Yes.
So I need to optimize the stuff. To one way of, and neither to increase the size, neither we can get into too much of production.
Sir,
Because that will also lead to losses.
Sir,
Okay.
we can think on the other way that
Uh-huh.
what the things are into more demands, we
Uh-huh.
can make them available, more available.
Okay.
Yes,
So what
based on demand supply. Correct.
So how do
Demand
we?
and supply.
So what would be the measure? That's what I'm saying.
Surveys. Employee customer satisfaction survey.
Feedbacks.
Feedbacks.
Optimizing customer feedback for better service.
For better service and availability of the product.
Service stroke availability. Yeah, that can be.
तो आपको source of feedback तो वही है customer.
But how we can measure this?
Which one?
Last one, optimizing customer feedback.
Optimizing customer feedback. What I'm trying to understand
No, we need to put here in measures. We need to put the exact figure.
See, if you look at company like Asian Paints, they are not market leader because their product is too good. They are market leader because they make sure that all their retailers have their product at every given point of time. Their supply chain is so strong that they even go across and they go beyond FMCG to make sure that all the retailers are always equipped with whatever colors and whatever sizes people need. Okay. So it is that kind of scenario. So we also need to look it from that perspective. Okay, what does my customer need during seasons? What kind of apparels, what sizes are prevalent depending on areas, location, and season.
There is one more additional point we can say, like if there is a 10 products, what we are into market, like in the shops and all, there will be only 3 to 5%, 3 to 5 or 4 products only, which are very good into sales. So those products can be target more to bring into availability. Like that.
Okay.
What
But then
one point, yeah.
Possible. But then that would limit your volume, no? It would impact your revenue at some stage. See, if you want to increase your revenue, you may have to increase your market share also.
Correct.
You may have to your exposure, not your acceptance level or user level has to increase.
Correct.
Number of users have to increase. So if you're right, to maintain the lead, few products can be targeted, but at the same time, we also need to keep working on the other products to make sure that you maintain that lead. Yeah.
Those products also came through a feedback only. Those things are into demands. So we are keeping those products into availability section, that this will be available at any time.
Okay. So keep that as our point of discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Now let's get into the next measure. Quality process, good manufacturing practices. Yeah. Tell me what you want to put here.
So for quality process,
what is that we are looking?
Quality, we can say maintenance of equipment timely.
Maintenance of equipment. Okay.
Like machineries, whatever. Proper maintenance will bring the quality on standard basis.
Or we can mention the
Hello.
certification of quality processes.
Process, okay. Anything you can be
We can say standardization of the process, quality process
Yes.
by ISO, IMS,
ISO, yes,
yeah,
quality
standard.
standard certifications and
standardization of quality practices, I right? Fine.
yeah, certifications you
Standardization of the
can.
internal process, we can say.
ठीक है. Standardization of internal quality process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Standardization one.
Okay. Then measure 2, manufacturing.
Training and development.
Good manufacturing practices may.
I think we can mention some automation, how we can convert this into more into automation.
Yeah.
So reduce the cost.
Yeah. Okay.
So move into automation part. How we can write here, anyone can suggest, but yes, for my thinking point, we need to move into automation.
What is your company? What is this company?
Offshore dealing, ma'am.
Offshore dealing. ऊपर में लिख दो offshore dealing, you know.
ठीक है.
And what is the value proposition? Also write that.
वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन तो हम लोग ऑपरेशनल पे ही ले रहे हैं.
हाँ तो वही लिख दो.
ऑपरेशनल एक्सीलेंस पे ही चल रहा है.
कितना हो गया? मेजर्स आ गए.
सेकंड लिखो डेडिकेटेड क्लाइंट सर्विसेज, क्लाइंट लाइजनिंग और क्लाइंट सर्विसेज. असाइन डेडिकेटेड क्लाइंट सर्विसेज
इनिशिएटिव में.
हाँ, मतलब अपनी टीम से किसी को हम लोग जस्ट लाइक के उनको क्लाइंट से कैसे मैनेज करना है, जैसे बीडी एंड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट टीम को, तो उसके डेडिकेटेड हाँ लाइनिंग विद द क्लाइंट्स. पीओसी को क्या कह रहे हो आप?
क्लाइंट एंगेजमेंट.
हाँ, डेडिकेटेड क्लाइंट एंगेजमेंट. या अब आ जाओ थर्ड.
But हमारे initiatives, it should correlate with whatever our objectives are.
Correct.
क्या वही तो मैच.
Initiatives हमारे objectives
But I
के साथ.
think this is in line with this ना client
हाँ,
satisfaction.
that's the
Client satisfaction.
reason. हाँ, वो मैच करा रहे हैं हम लोग. अब क्या है, अब ये इंटरनल बिजनेस में और इंटरनल प्रोसेस में आना है.
ऑन टाइम डिलीवरी का क्या इनिशिएटिव है?
ऑन टाइम डिलीवरी के लिए तो डालना पड़ेगा. मीन्स ऑन टाइम डिलीवरी में क्या है ना कि हमारे जितने भी ऑपरेशंस है ना, पीपल वो मतलब इफेक्टिवली काम करे तभी ऑन टाइम हो सकता है. और सारा जो इक्विपमेंट्स है वो रिग पे होने चाहिए. तो उसके लिए इसके लिए क्या लैंग्वेज बनाए?
एक मैं उस एंगल से बता रहा हूँ. To measure turnaround time, something, or implementing a tool to measure turnaround time.
हाँ, ये
measure कैसे करोगे ना?
हाँ
उसके लिए
ठीक है,
कुछ
ये
तो होना
कर
चाहिए.
सकते. हाँ ठीक है.
So what you mean to say is to improve the delivery time.
Yes.
Correct.
Right. So
Yeah.
what is the gap? कितना delivery time में lag है आपका?
नहीं, हम तो एनुअल 10 डेज से ज्यादा डाउन टाइम नहीं दे रहे हैं. मतलब हमें 90% 10 डेज ही सिर्फ देना है. मतलब 98% हमें काम करना
But
है.
you want to
10 डेज से
improve it to 100%.
हाँ.
Right. Fully on time delivery. तो
नहीं, फुल्ली नहीं मैम. 10 डेज तो देना है. इस बिजनेस में 5-10 दिन तो चलता है, नहीं तो फिर वो एक
तो
नहीं बन
आपने
पाएगा.
तो आपने क्या किया?
98% तक हमें जाना है.
आपका डिलीवरी कौन करता है? यहाँ पर लोग करते हैं ना, पीपल.
हाँ
It is the people. So
हाँ.
you need to have, substitute manpowers in place all the time to ensure that, the delivery doesn't get hampered.
Yeah, so that means we can write excellent crew in place.
Yeah.
Excellent crews in place. ठीक है.
समझ गए?
ओके.
अवेलेबिलिटी होना चाहिए, एक
हाँ
चला
हाँ,
गया तो दूसरा आ जाएगा।
दूसरा मैं समझ गया बात.
हाँ
ठीक, नहीं तो हो नहीं पाएगा वो.
हाँ, तभी
अब
90
ये आ जाओ. अब ये
98
इंटरनल,
100 पहुंचेगा।
हाँ अब ये इंटरनल प्रोसेस में आना है. हमने लिखा है 3: ऑपरेशन एक्सीलेंस, प्रोक्यूरमेंट एंड इन्वेंट्री, और एक्सटर्नल स्टेक होल्डर मैनेजमेंट. इसके लिए क्या होना चाहिए? 3 मेजर्स या 2
सर
मेजर्स?
सर मुझे ये चीज समझाओ, आप ऑन टाइम डिलीवरी से आपका मतलब क्या है? मतलब जब ऑर्डर प्लेस रिसिप्ट हुआ
नहीं
हमें,
नहीं, ऑन टाइम
तो
डिलीवरी
उसका
वर्ड लिखा है, उसके ब्रैकेट में हमने लिखा है नो डाउन टाइम. मीन्स कि हमारा किसी भी दिन ऑपरेशन नहीं रुकना चाहिए किसी भी वजह से.
अच्छा, ये ऑन टाइम डिलीवरी मतलब हमारी जो
नो डाउन टाइम, जीरो.
एक्सट्रैक्शन
बिजनेस
है,
यस यस.
बिजनेस
जो हम
कंटिन्यूटी है।
एक्सट्रैक्शन कर रहे हैं वो डाउन टाइम
यस.
में नहीं जाना चाहिए।
हाँ.
बट ये फिर कस्टमर नहीं हुआ ना।
क्या?
कस्टमर को तो अपना सामान या जो भी उसकी ऑर्डर्स हैं, जो भी उसका माल है, उसको तो टाइम पे चाहिए,
नहीं नहीं,
विद इन
कस्टमर को
दी
ये भी
पीआई।
चाहिए. कस्टमर को ये भी चाहिए. अगर डाउन टाइम है तो कस्टमर जो है ना, फिर वो आप पे बहुत पेनल्टी और हो सकता है कि आपको वो ऑपरेशन ही रुकवा दे. ऑन टाइम
लेकिन अगर
डिलीवरी
उसका
को ना,
यहाँ पर आपका क्लाइंट है, कस्टमर इज अ
हाँ.
क्लाइंट, राइट?
यस यस
B2B है ना?
यस.
तो क्लाइंट है।
तो हम स्टॉक नहीं करते, हम रिजर्व्स नहीं रखते हैं अपना,
क्या?
ताकि हमारा ऑपरेशन सेट हो तो भी रिजर्व्स से काम चले। ऐसा कुछ होता है रिजर्व्स या
नहीं वहां पर मैन
स्टॉक्स के
पावर की
थ्रू?
रिक्वायरमेंट है, स्टॉक नहीं, मैन पावर। वो एक्चुअली वो सी से एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं तो उन्हें मैन पावर की जरूरत होती होगी, राइट? तो इसलिए वो बिजनेस कंटिन्यूटी के लिए उनको वो चाहिए।
मैन
दैट इज
पावर
व्हाट आई
एंड
एम
मशीनरी,
थिंकिंग।
इक्विपमेंट जो है
हाँ,
वहां पे वो एकदम कंटिन्यूटी चलनी चाहिए. उसमें प्रॉब्लम आने पे फिर रुक जाता है, और फिर समुद्र में सामान भेजने में टाइम लगता है. दैट्स द रीजन मैंने सिर्फ 10 days रखा है. आप यहाँ ना फर्स्ट वाले में ना मिनिमम डाउन टाइम खाली वर्ड लिख दो.
तो तो हमारी
योगेश.
इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन टीम की भी इम्पोर्टेंस है यहाँ पर।
यस यस, तभी तो लिखा है प्रोसेस में ऑपरेशनल, और उसके नीचे लिखा हायरिंग ऑफ निश स्किल्स. यहाँ जो है ना ऑन टाइम डिलीवरी नो है ना, यहाँ लिख दो मिनिमम डाउन टाइम खाली बस.
यहाँ पे
हाँ इस वाले में.
पूरा हटा
क्योंकि
दो।
हाँ पूरा हटा दो, क्योंकि वो मिनिमम डाउन टाइम.
कस्टमर बोल सकता है मिनिमम डाउन टाइम से उसकी उसके ऑर्डर्स पे इम्पैक्ट नहीं आएगा।
हम्म.
तो इसको कैसे मेजर करोगे आप, क्वालिटी सर्विस को?
क्वालिटी सर्विस तो मैं जस्ट लाइक जो हम उसका इक्विपमेंट भेज रहे हैं, जो थर्ड पार्टी से इंस्पेक्शन करा रहे हैं, वो सब टाइमली, जितनी भी सेफ्टीज हैं वो है.
तो ये तो जो क्रूड ऑयल होगा सर, ये क्रूड ऑयल तो बिल्कुल रॉ फॉर्म में होगा,
हम्म.
फिर इसकी रिफाइनिंग
वो
रिफाइनिंग
सब
होती
वो सब
होगी, फिर
क्लाइंट
ये
का काम है, हमारा काम नहीं है. हमें बस निकाल के देना है.
क्रूड ऑयल जो होता है।
हाँ. अब इसका क्या बनाया जाए? इंटरनल प्रोसेस का क्या? मेजर 1 एंड मेजर 2 एंड मेजर 3.
ऑपरेशनल एक्सेलेंस, एक प्रोजेक्ट को एग्जीक्यूट करने में आपको कितना, मतलब यूजुअली a certain barrel of crude oil, 2 barrels of crude oil, if it takes 2 days, so operationally you want that to be maintained to 2 days या 1.5 दिन, 1 दिन? Just एक random thought बोल। एक्सट्रैक्शन प्रोसेस के हिसाब से हम अपने प्रोसेस को ठीक करना चाह रहे हैं ना सर, तो उस
तो रिग
केस में
अप
बोल रहा
टाइम
हूँ।
परसेंटेज पहला लिखो. रिग अप टाइम
मेजर 1।
परसेंटेज, मेजर 1.
ओके, ठीक है।
क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली हमको अपने रिग का जो है अप टाइम करना है. ऑपरेशन का यही है नंबर 1.
नहीं विवेक, मान लो एक दिन में 10 बैरल ऑयल आप रिग से निकालते हो, ठीक है? नाउ इफ यू वांट टू इंक्रीज द नंबर ऑफ बैरल्स, व्हाट यू नीड टू डू?
बट यहाँ बैरल तो निकले या ना निकले मैम, हमारा जो प्रोसेस है ना वो नहीं रुकना चाहिए, हमारी मशीनरी चलती रहनी चाहिए. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम आस्किंग रिग अप टाइम.
तो उसका आउटपुट क्या होगा फिर,
आउटपुट क्या
मतलब
होगा?
मशीन मशीन
वो वेल देते हैं, वेल होता है ना जो समुद्र में है, वेल होता है, उनसे निकालने के लिए हमारी मशीनरी और क्रू रहना चाहिए।
नहीं वो
भले
तो
वो
है।
तेल निकले या ना निकले कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता,
हैं?
भले तेल निकले या ना निकले कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, हमारी मशीनरी और क्रू वहां मस्ट बी देयर, देन वी विल टेक ए बिल।
और अगर माना वो नहीं हुए तो उनका इम्पैक्ट क्या है फिर?
कुछ नहीं हुआ। बहुत बार क्या होता है कि वेल में तेल नहीं होता,
हाँ।
बट हमने अपनी ड्रिलिंग की है,
हम्म।
हमारा काम है ड्रिल करना, क्रू रखना, तेल नहीं निकले वो ओएनजीसी का किस्मत।
अच्छा
दैट्स
अच्छा।
व्हाई आई एम
ओके।
यूजिंग द वर्ड रिग अप टाइम, मतलब हमारा रिग जो है मूवमेंट होते रहना चाहिए।
अब मान लो अगर बंद हो जाता है तो
हाँ,
इम्पैक्ट क्या होता है?
अगर एक
हाँ,
दिन बंद हो गया तो $96,000 हमें नहीं मिलेगा,
ओके।
80 करोड़ 80 लाख रुपए उस दिन का बिल नहीं आएगा।
नहीं वो तो ठीक है, बिल नहीं आएगा उस दिन का, बट इम्पैक्ट टू द मशीन, क्या मशीन
बेसिकली व्हाट ही
टू बी
सेइंग कि
रनिंग?
आउटपुट से मतलब नहीं हो एनजीसी
अच्छा।
को,
हम्म
उसको मतलब प्रोसेस होनी चाहिए बस।
प्रोसेस होनी चाहिए, मैन पावर 48 है वो रहना चाहिए, और सेफ्टी एक वर्ड है सेफ्टी, इसीलिए मैं ट्रेनिंग में मैं वो भी एक वर्ड ऐड करा दूंगा।
ओके। तो विवेक, मेरा माय
हम्म
अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज दैट
हम्म
आप रिगिंग कर रहे हो, जरूरी नहीं कि जहां पर आप ड्रिलिंग कर रहे हो वहां पर तेल हो। ओके।
यस
नॉट
यस
नेसेसरीली। तो
नो नेसेसरी,
आपने अपना काम किया, मशीन
यस,
लगाया, 24 घंटा लगाया, अब तेल मिले
हाँ,
ना मिले
वो किस्मत
वो किस्मत की
ओएनजीसी
बात
का।
है ना?
हाँ
सो
हाँ
अक्रॉस द सी यू हैव टू डू द ड्रिलिंग
यस
at different location, different point of time,
यस
continuously with your given manpower
यस
or more manpower, whatever you require. So
हाँ
what you require is manpower and machinery on a continuous basis
यस विदाउट
without
फेल।
stop.
सो यस, तो
ये
यहाँ
दो चीज आपका
एक
है।
तो आएगा मैम मशीनरी नो फेल्यूर का एक लैंग्वेज आएगा कि मशीनरी हमारा चलते रहना चाहिए, नंबर वन।
कंटिन्यूटी, कंटिन्यूअस।
कंटिन्यूटी, जस्ट राइट
हाँ।
डाउन योगेश, कंटिन्यूटी ऑफ मशीनरी,
Operation of the machines.
ऑपरेशन ऑफ द मशीन्स।
Continued operation of the machines.
नंबर वन।
हम्म
नंबर टू, जो प्रोक्यूरमेंट एंड इन्वेंटरीज लिए मैंने रखा है कि स्पेयर्स जो है कल को रुकता है तो स्पेयर्स होने चाहिए हमारे पास।
नहीं
सो
नहीं, बट
जस्ट
एक
अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ द सेकंड वन अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ स्पेयर्स ऑल टाइम।
यस।
नहीं, बट एक चीज है, इसको मेजर कैसे करोगे? बिकॉज वी आर पुटिंग दिस इन
देखो
द
ना, मैं
मेजर ना।
करता हूँ ना, मैं बताऊंगा ना आपको।
अच्छा।
अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ स्पेयर्स,
अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ
स्पेयर
स्पेयर्स,
पार्ट्स, स्पेयर
स्पेयर
पार्ट्स।
पार्ट। तीसरा जो है ना वहां पे हमने क्या लिखा हुआ है, एक्सटर्नल स्टेक होल्डर
एक्स मैनेजमेंट।
मैनेजमेंट। मैम एक्सटर्नल स्टेक होल्डर मैनेजमेंट की समटाइम्स जो है ना
हम्म
बिल विल प्रोसेस कराने के लिए ना थोड़ा
हम्म
क्लाइंट से,
हम्म।
हाँ, तो एक अच्छा कभी कभी काम निकालने के लिए, तो उसके लिए क्या
हम्म।
बना सकते हैं, यही दो पे छोड़ दें।
गुड स्टेक होल्डर मैनेजमेंट, रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट।
थर्ड लिख दो रिलेशनशिप
या
मैनेजमेंट। यस।
तभी आपका बिल पास होगा, वरना कुछ
हाँ
ना कुछ वो आंकड़े निकाल देगा।
हाँ हाँ, नाकड़े निकाल देंगे। और यहाँ ना ये जो ब्रैकेट है ना जहाँ एमॉस लिखे हो एंड एचएससी ट्रेनिंग लिख दो, एंड एचएससी
हम्म
दोनों बहुत जरूरी है, वहां सेफ्टी इज द की। समुद्र है, कुछ भी हुआ तो कांड ही हो जाएगा।
कंप्लायंसेस जो भी है आपको वो
एचएससी,
चाहिए।
यस। अब इसका जो है उसका जो पहले वाले का हम लोग HSE नॉट सी, HSE हेल्थ सेफ्टी एंड एनवायरमेंट।
अच्छा है।
मैडम चली गई है। हाँ,
नहीं,
ठीक है। अब यहाँ का टारगेट लिखो पहले, इंटरनल प्रोसेस का कंटिन्यू ऑपरेशन ऑफ मशीन, एबिलिटी ऑफ स्पेयर पार्ट्स और रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट। कंटिन्यू ऑपरेशन ऑफ मशीन का क्या बना है मैम? अब 10% है तो 98% लिखो, 98%
मेजर कैसे
लिखो।
करोगे उसको? मेजर कैसे करोगे मुझे सोच।
कोई फेल्यूर नहीं हो रहा है, आपकी कंटिन्यूटी होनी चाहिए, 98% एकदम चलते रहना चाहिए। और एबिलिटी ऑफ स्पेयर पार्ट्स 100%, या तो लिखो 100% एबिलिटी।
तो वो जो 2% नहीं हुआ वो कैसे मेजर करोगे?
वो 2% नहीं हुआ, वही 10 दिन का डाउन टाइम है। 10 दिन आपकी साल में बंद है।
अच्छा, तो मतलब आप ये
आदमी
कह
का
रहे
एरर
हो
है भैया,
जब
बुखार तो लग सकता है ना, 2-4 सिक लीव लोग है ना, वही है वो 2-10%।
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, ओके।
एबिलिटी ऑफ स्पेयर पार्ट्स 100%।
मतलब किसी दिन भी ऐसा कोई रिपोर्ट आउट नहीं हुआ कि
बिना
ये
डाउन टाइम का अभी तक
पार्ट है नहीं?
कुछ ना कुछ तो डाउन टाइम होना ही है दोस्त। रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट पे छोड़ दो, वो तो बहग ही रहने दो, या लिख दो रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट 100% बिल पेमेंट फ्रॉम क्लाइंट्स, 100% बिल पेमेंट फ्रॉम क्लाइंट्स।
अच्छा, अगर रिलेशनशिप सही नहीं होगा तो बिल पेमेंट नहीं होगी, क्लाइंट करेगा नहीं बिल।
कभी कभी कुछ 100% लिखा है ना, 2-4% काट सकता है उसको, इसलिए तो 100% लिखा है कि जो भी हम बिल देंगे वो उसका 100% वी विल गेट। अंडरस्टैंड? मैटर करता है थोड़ा सा। अब इसका इनिशिएटिव क्या किया जाए?
रिलेशनशिप स्टेक होल्डर क्लाइंट
एक तो
विजिट्स
स्पेयर
नहीं
पार्ट्स के लिए इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट की ट्रेनिंग, मतलब इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट तो चाहिए ही चाहिए।
तो वो यहाँ नहीं आएगा लर्निंग ग्रोथ में?
वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, दोनों जगह वही तो मैं दिमाग लग रहा है कि फिर यहाँ क्या लिखें। तो यहाँ हम ये लिख सकते हैं कि
कंटिन्यूड ऑपरेशंस ऑफ मशीन मेंटेन।
सॉफ्टवेयर एबिलिटी, सो दैट कि हम उसकी ट्रेनिंग देंगे, राइट?
So
सो
how is it
एमएस
going, guys? How
चल
is
रहा
it
है मैम,
going?
कोशिश
Good, good.
जारी है।
Yeah,
एबिलिटी
yeah,
ऑफ
very good.
एमओस सॉफ्टवेयर लिखो आप।
Yeah, you might take another 15-20 minutes, I think. Looks like, right?
यस मैम।
Okay, okay, okay. Good,
एबिलिटी
good.
ऑफ एमओस सॉफ्टवेयर सेकेंड वन लिखो योगेश।
स्पेयर पार्ट्स में
हाँ यस, एबिलिटी ऑफ एमओस सॉफ्टवेयर, क्योंकि उसी सॉफ्टवेयर के थ्रू जो है ना हम पता कर सकते हैं कि हमारे पास स्पेयर है या नहीं है, समझे? एंड नंबर वन में कंटिन्यू ऑपरेशन ऑफ मशीन में क्या कर सकते हैं, उसका क्या दिमाग लगाएं?
इज इट 24 आवर्स
ऑपरेशन मशीन में क्या लिखें? चलो हर चीज का इनिशिएटिव करने की जरूरत नहीं, वो तो अंडरस्टूड है।
नहीं
इसमें एक
हाँ
कर सकते
हाँ
हैं
हाँ,
कि डेली
उसका
रिपोर्टिंग
उसका
कर लो।
हाँ नहीं, मशीनरी का क्या होता है ना, वो देखा जाता है ना कि 2 साल में उसका मेंटेनेंस एंड ये, सो रिकॉर्ड्स यू कैन लाइक दैट। inspection continuous checking the inspection report like that you can write. Monitoring the reports, monitoring the inspections reports। 15 मिनट में एडजेक्ट वर्ड आना भी बहुत मुश्किल है। और रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट तो छोड़ दो, वो तो बेसिक है, बस ये दोनों रहने दो। अब नीचे वाले का आ जाओ। नीचे में क्या करना है, ये तो अपना एरिया आ गया। पहला तो रिक्रूटमेंट ही होगा, रिक्रूटमेंट एंड रिटेंशन बोथ होगा। अच्छे मैन पावर को लाना है और अच्छे मैन पावर को रोकना है। सो नंबर देना होगा, जस्ट लाइक दे दो 10।
रिक्रूटमेंट एंड रिटेंशन होगा ना?
नहीं, रिक्रूटमेंट पहले लिखते हैं, रिक्रूटमेंट ऑफ हायरिंग, यस हायरिंग।
So that at least what could be the initiative? against to achieve 500 crores? Any example?
By measuring
It's a kind of investment, I think. Initiative is related with the investment this time. If we are talking
Marketing
about,
strategy or
yes,
Increase
one
more
is manufacturing.
stores increase
Yes,
करोगे, different location, more locations.
yes.
आज आपके पास
okay.
10 लोकेशन है, आप उसको 20 लोकेशन करो.
बट कॉस्ट भी इन्वॉल्व हो जाएगा ना मैम इसके अंदर.
रेशियो में रहेगा, नंबर ऑफ
रेशियो
स्टोर्स.
में.
ओके.
Increase number of stores. Then
in multiple locations, है ना?
स्टोर या कोई getting more
profit
or we can say
Start
store
online.
own करने से अच्छा you can go and place somewhere you can place your own products also multiple products के बीच में. हाँ,
Marketplace
like
you're talking
yeah,
about. Yeah.
for the awareness. In
Yes.
every state you cannot put your own store, but at least somewhere or the else you have that space to make it more
Yes, you can
publicly.
mention tie up with the e-commerce companies,
Yeah.
right?
Advertisement is an option.
Like in malls, you get multiple things in one place, multiple brands in one place.
But then that again comes down to stores only, no?
अभी आप ऑनलाइन नहीं गए हो ना, अभी आप स्टोर्स के थ्रू ही कर रहे हो. मे बी पार्शियली ऑनलाइन भी होगा, ऑनलाइन ऐड करोगे. नाउ सी, राइट नाउ यू आर ओनली हैविंग स्टोर्स. नाउ टू इंक्रीज द प्रॉफिट एंड इंक्रीज द सेल्स, you take initiative to make it online also through various platforms, e-commerce platforms, so that will increase the profit, right? अभी तक तो आपने दो चीज किया, स्टोर इंक्रीज किया एंड ऑनलाइन विजिबिलिटी आपने बढ़ाया. तो उसमें आपको कोई कॉस्ट नहीं लग रहा है. यू आर गेटिंग डायरेक्ट प्रॉफिट्स, यू नो, फ्रॉम द ई-कॉमर्स.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Reduction in defect by 10%. So what are the measure we have put? Reduction in defect by 10%. So target is what? Per batch, per unit, what we want to do?
We can
per
say,
batch
by measuring quarterly, identifying the gap.
Quarterly would be too late, boss. If you want to achieve 10% reduction, it has to be on online
per
kind
batch,
of stuff.
Yeah,
per batch, I think.
Batch wise,
because we need to drill down the same thing down the line.
Yes.
Monitoring batch wise, yeah.
Yes.
No, but target what you want to put? Batch wise monitoring or what? How do you want to word it?
Not monitoring is not the right word.
Monitoring will
we are
not be
going
target.
to
monitoring.
Yes.
Achieve, we can target, we can say.
Yes, achieve batch wise
defect reduction.
Measure reduction in per unit cost. Reduction in per unit cost by.
This measure can be taken out from here. I think it's confusing.
जैसे डिमांड सप्लाई होता है ना, हायर द डिमांड, हाँ, सॉरी, लाइक यू नो, मोर वॉल्यूम लेस कॉस्ट.
yes,
एक मशीन से अभी आप 10 पीस बना रहे हो, बट दैट मशीन हैज द कैपेसिटी टू मेक 25, राइट?
yes.
So
utilization of
the
utilization of the production capacity, you can say.
Maximum production capacity.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what next? Here, quality. Achieve TS certification by FY26, and then we are saying by that what? Target is what?
Target is same. We have to achieve by
25? By
we have to
2025?
achieve. No tolerance here. We have to achieve.
Achieve TS certification.
आप year लिख दो उसमें. Hello.
Okay.
हाँ.
Year 20.
We have to achieve
मेरा
by
class चल रहा
financial
है.
year.
कहाँ recording करते हो? ठीक.
Now reduction in material raw material cost by 5%. Okay.
Yes.
Target is alternate sourcing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Backup plans.
Identify two alternate source.
Yes.
Identify two alternate source for what? Selling
For
platform?
raw material.
For raw material.
For raw material.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what? Here, 90% employee covered for TS program. Target can be quarterly. What numbers?
Quarterly.
90 को हम करेंगे तो around 30% people.
25% people can be quarterly है तो.
25?
Yeah, 25 will be good.
Yeah.
25% of employees
To be covered.
Shall get certified or
Trained, you can mention.
Yeah, that's fine.
get trained. Okay.
Correct.
On internal auditor per department. I think this will more or less remain same. This will remain same or will change?
ये क्या है? Internal auditor per department?
No, we were talking from a point. Since we are trying TS as one of the TS certification as one of the important from a quality perspective. We were saying that we will be covering all the employees as part of the certification program to understand the process and the control which is required. And to have better control on the process, every department must have one internal auditor certified. So that you will have
Keep a check of it.
check on all the processes. Yeah. So that was the idea behind it. So what could be the target here?
कोई term fix कीजिए by next 3 month, by next quarter or 6 months. I mean, there has to be set target to comply with.
By September. Okay.
By quarter, you can mention.
By third quarter, we can say.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
आपने 2 ही measure लिखा है इसमें ना? ठीक है.
हाँ सर, 2 ही किया हमने.
ठीक है.
Let's go up. Let's get back to the initiative here. Okay. To achieve batch-wise defect reduction. So what could be the initiative which we can think of? Actually, ये चीज टेम्पो में कंप्लीट करना चाहिए.
Actually,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
lose the
curious.
connect from that point totally.
Correct.
क्या हो सकता है?
So we can appoint a quality control person.
Achieve batch-wise defect reduction. Appointing quality control.
Quality control person for checking the defect.
Okay, achieve batch-wise reduction. Appointing or creating SOPs, is that fine?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
what is it?
SOP will be good.
Creating SOP
Yeah,
will
SOP
be
is fine. Yeah.
Creating
SOP.
SOPs and adherence. Okay.
Perfect.
Fine. Second initiative, increase machine utilization by 5%. By 5%. What? Here we are talking about
So we
reduction.
can reduce the downtime here.
Downtime.
Yes,
Exactly.
reduce the
Yeah.
machine downtime.
Reduce machine downtime. Okay.
Or
Good.
LTL, lost time incident.
Third, also we can mention related to machine if you want to. We can do the proper PMS.
Like we can say LTA, lost time incident.
Preventive maintenance, I'm talking about.
Maintenance, yeah.
Preventive and predictive. Huh?
Maintenance. Yes.
Strengthening कर देता हूँ मैं इस word. It would sound more positive. Make sense? Strengthening, preventive, and predictive maintenance. Okay.
Yeah.
It's more sort of. Then what? Here, okay. Yeah, we're talking about quality process, achieving TS certification by 25-26. So what could be the initiative here?
We can budget certain amount for that, correct?
Yeah. Budget and facilitation.
And write the certification body,
Budget and come again, ma'am. Sorry.
I mean, certification. I mean, who would be your certification body? That's also
hiring external auditor and certification agency, something.
Agency, certification
Agency,
agency.
certification agency with the external audit.
Fixing of
because
certification audit.
External team, you can mention. External agency or team. Because the external agency always provide the certification first time.
Okay.
Body, okay. Okay. Then let's come down. What could be here? Quarterly 25% employees shall get trained. Again, similar budget or training plan.
Training
plan, I think.
Training plan, proper training plan, because आप इकट्ठे सबको train नहीं करोगे ना, batch by batch करोगे.
Correct.
Training plan and schedule.
Yes.
Okay.
And
इसके लिए budget भी रखा होगा आपने ना?
Yes. very, very important. You always have a training plan, but no budget.
इतना में नहीं आएगा.
Okay. Good. And by third quarter, we are saying here, we again talking about
General auditor per department.
Identification. Yeah. Here it would be more from identification of individuals.
Yes.
Okay. Because this will be important when you have internal auditors being put there. Makes sense?
Identifying individuals and training record, correct, for internal auditing.
Identification of individuals and training.
Training, yeah.
Okay, done?
Yeah.
Almost. Yes.
Yes, anybody want to just go through and check out any changes?
Yes.
Targets are निकाल देता हूँ. The cascading really, it's not easy.
That will be very cumbersome.
Yeah.
Because each department, team, individual, right? So it's a huge chart.
Yes, it's a big stuff. It
But then
doesn't
yes, you can percolate down to your department.
exactly. No, but then the point which I'm trying to make here, having everybody having similar understanding is also very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here you see, we all HR guys sitting.
So
We usually talk
know
about smart and all that stuff, but then when it comes to really working out a new targets and measures, it really make you go blank.
See, if you look at HR, like earlier HR was not a strategic partner, but now we say HR is a strategic partner. So when you say strategic partner, that means numbers. They should have understanding of the company business. They need to know the numbers, the figures, the profits, the revenues, the shares, and how to enhance it.
Agree.
Otherwise, so it's a mundane task.
Fine. So we can get back to the room or
to the financials.
Are you done with?
Yeah.
Can you move to the financials?
One check. We did financials also. You want to see?
Yes. हमारे इस धंधे का सबसे हमारे बिजनेस का मेन जो है वही है कि डाउन टाइम जो है वो नहीं होना चाहिए मिनिमम. So this was target was the last year was the 10 days in a year maximum.
Okay. Let me go through. I think this is fine. Absolutely. Hiring and retention rate of niche skills. Okay. Developing and training. All right. Okay. I'm not getting into detailing, but yes, hiring the right skills as per the requirements of all the jobs,
और
right?
अच्छा बन सकता है थोड़ा टाइम मिलता तो.
Continued operations availability, niche skills, okay, 95, 10 days, 100%, collecting customer survey, every decided client engagement, monitoring the inspection report, okay, hiring consultant with experience of niche skills, training for existing recruiter, contact with good vendors for HG, training and MOS. All right. I think I must give it to your group.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's not so easy.
हाँ, पर टाइम और रहता तो उसको और भी बेटर कर सकता हूँ.
Commendable job. Okay.
Thank you,
Great,
ma'am.
guys.
Thank
Great.
you.
Okay.
Ma'am,
What about
just
next?
help us explain the cause and effect relationship. How do we establish it?
Show that. Can
Yogesh?
Yogesh बता रहा था. Yeah. What is the why is this strategic map very important? There is a cause and the effect relationship. So what is the cause and effect relationship? Now, in order to achieve or in order to offer what the customer needs in terms of on-time delivery, ये समझ गए ना, on-time delivery, in order to give him quality, in order to satisfy him, you need to run these processes. So this internal business processes where you are having procurement and inventory or stakeholder management, so there is a linkage between this internal business process and if you're not reducing your downtime, can you do on-time delivery? So that causes the linkage. Yes. This is the cause and that is the effect. Cause and effect. Now, if you don't have the right skills, people, can you run your processes with no downtime? No. So that means this bubble causes the effect. Where is Divakar? Divakar, you understood, Divakar?
Yes, ma'am. So again, the relevance in the BSc. So how does cause and effect affect the organizational scorecard, ma'am?
The relevance is that, when you look at a strategic core, if you're having some objective and there is no indicator to the effect, what causes the impact, that means then something is left out, no? For example, you are promising on-time delivery to the customer, but your process of operation and execution, where you have to fine-tune your processes, where you are reducing your downtime is not there, then can you offer on-time delivery?
Not at all.
So that means this is causing, so it will help you. So if it is on a strategy map, you know that, hey, this is causing that linkage. Are you with me, Divakar?
Yes, ma'am.
So your question was, I mean, why should I have? So if you have it on the strategy map, at least you know that nothing is left out. When a koi cheat, it is not falling, you are ensuring that whatever you are offering or whatever you are promising to the customer, you are actually having those processes in place, and you are also having your human capital in place, which you can see it visually, so that there is a linkage between all the strategic objectives. Got it? Okay.
So
Yeah.
the very last quadrant that I see in all the tables that you present is the learning and growth quadrant, ma'am. So learning and growth followed by internal process, then customer, and then financials. So the cause and effect that you showed in the diagram earlier had majority of it in the last two quadrants, the effect, the cycle, but not upward. So is it a bottom-up
Upward
approach?
becomes automatic. See, finance, you don't have to do anything. If you are doing everything below, if you're having the right kind of people and who will actually deliver the right, who will work on the processes, and those processes will then deliver the customer satisfaction by giving the product, then automatically you get your revenue. So financial aspect, that was the in traditionally when they were focusing only on profit revenue, nothing can happen unless and until you work upon what you have to work upon the processes. You have to, and say for example, I'm saying, hey, I want to reduce downtime, and obviously then if you don't have those technical people, कि क्या gap है, why is it downtime ज़्यादा more, can I work rework, क्या हो रहा है, so you have to have the right technical people to also help you to run the processes. So what causes, that means unless and until you have the right kind of people who will work on that. So this bubble is causing that effect. Now, once you have that bubble in the IBP is causing the effect on on-time delivery. Got it? So when you look at a picture, here maybe because of the short time, but balanced strategy map doesn't happen in 30 minutes. है ना? अब तो हर दिन को म्यूट, it is not just Divakar or Vivek who will do, it will be the subject experts, business leaders who will sit and do that.
Yes.
And it will take 2, 3, 4 days and iterations,
Yes.
so that nothing is left out and everything is questioned, and they will ensure that there is a cause and effect linkage, because then you know that you have covered everything. ऐसा थोड़ी ना कि 30 मिनट में हमने स्ट्रेटजी मैप
ये तो
कंसल्टेंट ने बना दिया।
जस्ट ग्लिम्स दिया है मैम, इसमें तो हम लोग के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन गोल 2-3 दिन के एक्सरसाइज होता है।
Exactly. So you have to give it in detail. Yeah.
So this cause and effect is just a brainstorming or an ideation that we do between all of us?
No.
So
In
that
the strategy map, you are actually creating those bubbles and saying this bubble is the cause for giving the effect for the other. So you are putting an arrow. I will actually, once you are in the main room, Divakar, I will show you another strategy map. Okay. Now you can actually, when the strategy map also gets cascaded, आप every theme को लेके फिर उसको कर सकते हो, cause and effect linkage. I will show you that to get you that clarity. Once other group is also out. Are we out or are we? We'll leave the room and Divakar, I will show you that cause and effect. Okay.
Yes, we have already left.
Yeah.
We are already in the main room, ma'am.
Oh, you are already in the main room. Then where are the other people?
We are also there.
Okay, you are also there. Okay. Now, before I take up Divakar's clarification, can I just look at the other group's presentation? Yeah, somebody is putting it up. Hello?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
Vinodji, I think.
Okay. Who is presenting it?
Can everyone see this?
Yeah, we all can see this.
Okay. No, I was thinking I didn't know that I'm on mute. So we have talked about a product, outdoor apparel.
Start with the customer value proposition and say that you are in this value discipline, and that's how you start the presentation. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Team, you can join in as and when required. So as I was trying to mention this about the the business perspective, we are talking about the product leadership in the product of outdoor apparel. Okay. And based on that, we have tried to create a strategy map for this particular product. And that I should start from customer in that case.
Should always start from the customer, saying that
Okay.
so we are in the value proposition of whether it's product leadership or operational excellence, and this is what is the product or service we are offering. So whatever you are offering. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the product which we are offering, we are talking about a very niche segment in the apparel, that is outdoor apparel, especially to cater for certain section of people who are more fitness enthusiast. Okay. So all kind of apparel which suits their uh, requirement depending on different games or sports or activities which they are involved in. Okay.
Okay.
Now, keeping that as a base, we talked about having three customer perspective. One from the quality of the product, because since we are talking about a particular section of people, we felt the quality of our product has to be of high quality. Okay, which caters, which meets the customer requirement. It has to be cost effective because people should also be able to afford it. Okay, and easy availability of all sizes, because we really cannot judge, okay, who all today, the kind of lifestyle what we have, we find all segments and all age group of people use these kind of apparels. So easy availability of these sizes, something which we thought of as the three customer perspective.
Okay.
Okay.
So you are
Give,
saying the product features will be availability, selection, right?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Okay,
Price,
the price,
quality.
color,
Okay.
everything. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is what we talked about. And given that customer perspective, we have worked out the internal business processes. So where we are trying to focus on three areas. The three areas would be the quality process, because as I mentioned earlier, since quality of the product is important, it's also important for us to have a good control on the entire quality process which is being followed, starting from the sourcing to the end product. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
in fact, to give quality, sourcing, procurement will become one very critical process.
yes, exactly.
Okay. Procurement
Yeah,
and supply chain. Okay.
exactly. So, and that has also been mentioned. If you see, efficient supply chain is something which we have highlighted here.
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
addition to that, to achieve a cost effectiveness, we are also looking at how we can optimize or automate the entire process so that we can have good control on the product from the both from the point of what you call the
Standardization,
manufacture
quality and quality check.
quality,
Okay.
yeah, quality checks, automation, cost reduction, everything we are trying to cover as part of that. Okay. And coming to meet this requirement, we feel we need to have a good skilled people at all point of time, both from the point of hiring to the people who are available within the system. So they need to be constantly trained and upgraded to meet these requirements, because the requirement from the market is always, it's quite dynamic and it is evolving every time. So that is something which we thought about. Okay, so skilled employees and having a good training system and development system for the employees, so that we are able to keep employee engaged and provide them a growth, career growth at various level, is something which we are thinking about from a learning and growth perspective.
Okay, so that you'll have less of attrition, more of retention. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
that
that
your
we'll be
hiring
able to
cost will be
sustain.
less. Okay.
Yes, we'll
Yeah.
be able to sustain the process, and we'll be able to meet all the other requirement as decided or as
Because
been
not
mapped
only
across.
sustain, but maturity of processes. If you have high attrition, then your processes productivity will be impacted.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
And with that, we expect to have a good revenue. Okay. We would also expect that we'll be able to make a good profit.
So measure. Okay, 1 second.
Sorry.
See, measure will not be just, so measure can be, okay, net profit. But when you put a figure there, no 15%, that will become your target.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. So you have,
Reduction cost will be a measure. So how much of reduction you want, that will become a target. Got it?
got it. Okay. So I need
I'm
to,
measuring. So, I mean, it's like, okay, I mean, the height is measured in inches, right? So how much of that will be a target? Got it? So
okay.
reduction in cost is a measure, net profit is a measure, all right? Revenue is a measure. How much revenue will be the target? How much increase? How much of profit you want to make? That will be a target.
Okay.
And if you have to make that much of profit, so what kind of an initiative you want to do? Or if you want to reduce in reduction in cost, what is the initiative you want? So that's how it is linked. Done?
Yeah.
Okay. Increase in number of leveraging e-commerce. Okay, done. Yeah. Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Again, here
So,
also reduction in defects. By how
yeah.
much? 10%. Reduction per unit cost by 10%. Optimizing customer feedback. Then
So you're saying this 10% should come here in the target.
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
I hope you are able to understand.
Yes, yes, yes.
Target होता है वो amount लिखोगे, percentage लिखोगे. यहाँ लिखोगे what is the measure I'm going to. Like for example, in L&D, if I'm saying training will be a measure, target will be how many hours you want to train. Got it?
Okay. Okay.
Say 90% employees covered for TSC program. Training, what is this?
TS program is one of the certification, what do you call this? Manufacturing
So you will
certification.
Yeah. This program will be one measure. So how many people will be your target? Got it?
Okay.
Like आपने यहाँ लिखा ना quarterly 25% of employees shall get trained. Huh? That will be your target. Means that much will 25% of employees to be trained by third quarter. Got it? That will be your target. उसके लिए क्या करना होगा वो initiative में आ जाएगा. All right. There was some clarification. I want to just give that clarification to Divakar now. Thank you, both the groups for the excellent work done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I want to explain to Divakar and maybe even the others that cause and effect. That's the most important thing in cause and effect. In fact, the strategy map is all about cause and impact. 1 second. Cause and effect.
Effect.
Okay. Before I actually give this example, let me talk about a very, very, very simple thing. Say, for example, is Divakar there listening? This is more towards Divakar's question. Okay. Say, for example, in an organization, manufacturing organization. All right. So I am employing a lot of machine operators at an learning and growth perspective. Done? Okay, Divakar? Huh? So now, if I give training to these machine operators, what will happen? What will be the impact? If I do this well, it will lead to what? If I give training to machine operators in a manufacturing organization, it will lead to what? Obviously, it will lead to reducing of rework, right? Will it? Huh? depending on the nature of organization, whatever. I'm just arbitrarily talking about saying that अगर कोई manufacturing organization में machine operators है, they are working on certain operations and बहुत ज़्यादा rework हो रहा है. What will I do then? Divakar?
So either they are not trained properly. They are not trained properly to
I
do
mean, I
that
will
work.
look at some hypothesis. Different. So I will see, hey, process में कोई problem तो नहीं है ना? And then I will say, hey, maybe
Right.
this, people are not trained well, so I'll give training. So once I give the training, what will happen then?
They'll become
Rework
more
will become
efficient
reduced.
in whatever delivery.
So what is
Yes, yes,
causing?
ma'am.
So by giving, if I do this well, machine operators training, it will lead to what? Improvement of this process, right? Reducing
Right.
rework.
Yes,
Done. Now
yes,
reducing rework or scrap, and it also can be, it can also impact to the customer on time delivery also, right? Because
Divakar,
I'm reduced.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's
Yes,
possible, no?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Which will again lead to, if I'm reducing some cost, reducing downtime, obviously it will lead to revenues, no? Better productivity,
Yes,
higher
ma'am.
performance. So that was just an arbitrary. I thought, now just take this. Everybody knows about Indigo Airlines because I thought you will be,
Yes, ma'am.
everybody flies, everybody knows about it, right? Indigo Airlines. I'm giving a very good example of Indigo Airlines. All right. How does it differentiate from the other airlines? Is it doing very well? Typically, Indigo Airlines. जब भी जाते हो एयरपोर्ट में
Yes,
भरा हुआ रहता ना चकाचक. Why do you actually go for an Indigo? Because एक तो प्राइस. Why do you go प्राइस है ना? ठीक है ना? अदर देन
yes,
उसका
yes, ma'am.
ऑन टाइम कभी इंडिगो बहुत कम टाइम में कैंसिल होता है ना?
Reliable, very reliable.
पंक्चुअल, बल्कि वेरी रिलायबल बिकॉज बल्कि ऑन टाइम क्या 10 मिनट पहले ही वहां पे सब रेडी रहेंगे, नहीं? सो ऑन टाइम. सो व्हाट डू आई नीड एज
Right.
पैसेंजर? व्हाट्स इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी? When you choose an airline,
I
what is
should be.
important? When you want to travel, you want to ensure that ये flight take
I'm
off हो जाएगा का नहीं टाइम पे, because take off हो जाना
time
चाहिए
पे,
ना.
ma'am.
या
Yes, ma'am.
आप पहुंच गए एयरपोर्ट पे 2-3 घंटे बैठे हो तो तुमको क्या लगेगा? ओ माय गॉड, अरे क्या फ्लाइट है, मैं थोड़ा सा पैसा और ज्यादा दे दूंगी बट आई विल प्रेफर अनदर प्लेन व्हिच विल बी ऑन टाइम. अग्रीड? हाँ. But
Right.
yeah, so
Right, ma'am.
double
Right.
advantage hai. They are also giving you at a low cost and is also. So what is the offering you are giving to the customer? Low cost. Oh, sorry. Low cost and
On time.
sorry, and on time. Now, by giving on time and low cost, what will you do? You are attracting more
More
passengers.
customers.
For passengers.
If you are attracting more customers, क्या होता है? पैसा बढ़ते हैं कि नहीं?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
अगर फ्लाइट भरा हुआ रहता है तो पैसे आते हैं एयर फ्लाइट को. अगर 50% भरा हो तो पैसे नहीं आते ना. So that means, can I say you are actually growing revenues? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your planes are not going vacant. Now let me give you that cause and effect. Now to make this happen, अपने आप हो जाएगा क्या? You have to decide, no? That means planes should be having a fast turnaround time. What is the meaning of fast turnaround time or ground time? That means you have to say, hey, when they come on the tarmac, they should be there only for 30 minutes or they should be there only for 50 minutes. Why? More they fly on the sky, more the money the planes will make. But if they are all the time stationed on the ground, that means you will make less money. Because ऐसा नहीं कि airplanes बहुत सारे खरीद लेते हैं because that will become too much of investment, right? They will have few planes, but they want to run it full capacity and all the time running. पर अगर आपका plane all the time stationary है, तो how will you make money? So now to make this happen, what do you need to do? You have 3 kinds of crew. एक तो मेंटेनेंस पीपल, ऑपरेशनल पीपल, जो एकदम अराइवल आ जाने से क्या करते हैं, हाँ? एक तो फ्यूल डाल देगा, एक तो ये चेक करेगा, एक तो बैगेज निकाल देगा, एक तो क्लीनिंग कर देगा. एवरीथिंग, इज इट हैपनिंग ऑन टाइम? इज इट हैपनिंग ऑन टाइम? देन
Yes.
जो जो अराइवल वाले का एक और एक जो डिपार्चर वाले का वो लाइन अप कर देते हैं एवरीथिंग का. वो दे डू दैट? एकदम प्लेन आ गया है, एवरीथिंग
Yes.
लाइंड अप सो दैट देयर इज नो डिले. व्हाट डज इट मीन? देयर हैज टू बी टीम वर्क आल्सो, no? Huh?
Yes.
So that means here in the L&D group, एक तो you have to have the right kind of people employed, so that, and then have team culture, collaboration, interdependency है, then training to the group. So this is causing fast ground time. If you can see my arrow, right? This is then again what? Impacting, affecting on time आ रहे हैं, lowest prices. So can you see that these are arrows? Cause, effect. This is again in turn cause. So there's a
Yes.
linkage.
Yes.
Cause and effect linkage बोलते हैं इसको, है ना? So when you have a so this is only for a theme called operational excellence. So हर चीज के लिए फिर objectives है, measures है, targets है, initiatives है. अगर हम ये नहीं बनाते हैं, तो how will I know that what is the objective, how will I be measured, and what is the target? So when you have this ground crew के लिए भी, they have this, that इतना ही रहना चाहिए, 70%. So I cannot say 100% in the first year itself. So you need to think about it, ना? एकदम नहीं हो सकता है ना? So see, first year 70%, then 90%, then 100%, then ground time यहाँ पे कितना किया? 30 minutes, and at least 90% of the time it should be 30 minutes. Are you with me? Okay. Does
Yes,
it
ma'am.
help you? Now this
Yes, ma'am.
learning can be
Yes, ma'am.
reinforced when you are going to get a nice assignment, which Wilma will be giving it to you, and you people really will have to work on it. Then what will happen? All this learning and reading, you can actually then comprehend very well. And even then, if you can't comprehend, then you can always free to call up or WhatsApp, and we are always there to help you and hold hand. Okay. Okay, guys. So we have about
Yes, ma'am.
5 minutes to any questions. I'm here to help you with any questions. Let me close this. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Any
So for
clarifications?
each of
Any
the
questions?
objectives,
Pardon?
ma'am, for each of the objectives that we defined under each quadrant, we should have a measure, we should have a target, and we should have initiatives linked
Absolutely.
to the objective.
Objective is what you want to achieve, right? But if the objective does not have a measure and a target, then how will you achieve it?
It can have more than one targets, also more than one
Of-
measurable, measurable criteria.
Yeah, definitely. But one objective can have 2-3 measures also. Then obviously there can be targets also, right? Okay. Yeah. So let me just quickly recap, guys, between yesterday and today, what we did, so that you are able to recall. Anybody? Let's do a quick recall, so that more than me, I know what I know. But let me see from the group. So between yesterday and today, what was the learnings? Quick, anybody? I want everybody to participate.
Start with the PMS mapping template. So understanding of PMS is also very required, so that we can correlate with BSc and all that.
Okay.
We have
What
started.
is that one takeaway about the PMS?
What is the one
Be
takeaway?
specific. ऐसा नहीं कि good to go kinds.
क्या
Ah.
objectives and
Integration and
frequency
alignment.
One
and
thing
all
in
the
PMS,
against
what are the critical things?
goal settings are objectives
Goal
क्या
setting very important,
yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Ah.
And
Because if your PMS has to be effective and efficient, goal setting is very important.
Yes, yes, yes.
So there are
Right.
certain things hard and there are
Yes.
certain things soft. या
Yes.
hard में क्या आ जाता है? Goal setting आ जाता है, right?
Mon-
Smart way of
monitoring.
doing. हाँ?
Monitoring is the
Soft
hard.
में क्या होता है? Mentoring, coaching, feedback. How to give feedback is very important. In many organizations, people are not trained in giving feedback. Then reviewing ka time mein, how will you do a crucial conversation when people have underperformed? How will you go about with that? How will you tell him you haven't done? वो बड़ा difficult हो जाता है, sensitive हो जाता है. This is also one training required for the managers, right? Reviewing time. Okay. Then what else? Now, how do you make your performance management strategic? Today, we are not talking about just PMS, because PMS means current day-to-day activities. जैसे तिवारी जी ने आज इस रोल में क्या किया था, या विवेक ने उस रोल में क्या किया था. But that's not good enough. That's short term. But if you have to make it strategic, hey, you have to link it with strategy. ये organization में जैसे HR as an HR head for Vivek, okay, what is the business wanting to do in this year? So from there he will align his HR strategy. The business is wanting to go to maybe globally. तो वहां पे अगर सेटअप करना है तो what kind of a talent, what kind of a, based on the future projects they are doing, so he has to start creating what human capital readiness, what I call it. ये थोड़ी कि कल को चाहिए तो आज ही कर देंगे. हाँ, इनको CEO बोलेंगे विवेक आपको नहीं मालूम, we have to do talent planning. Okay, so strategic means everything. Like say for example, for an HR business partner, when I'm saying a strategic, depending on the, because it takes care of the entire employee life cycle, they have to align with that. After that, now, but Balance Scorecard is a very good tool which helps in what? Translating the entire thing into action, but how? Because it cascades, it also communicates, it also measures, and it is strategic. Now, with the strategic map and the Balance Scorecard, what do? एक picture है, visualization, बाकी हो रहा है. It's like Google Map, है ना? आपको कहीं जाना हो तो आप करते क्या हो? You will just put it, then you will know that whether you are going or not. ऐसा नहीं कि कहीं और, अरे वो बोलेगा कि नहीं, you are going wrong. You better take another left turn, right turn. So, strategy map also helps you like a Google map. You want to go somewhere, it will also do course corrections. Okay. Along with that, there are also what? Measures and targets. And what are the kind of initiatives to achieve them?
Correct.